Hello, everybody. Welcome back to D-Fourtress campaign, the Paragon. So, just a couple things before we get into the episode tonight. We do have our sponsor as well as some announcements. So I'll hand that over to Andrew. That's right. Everything's reversed.
I'm up here.
Yep.
Present.
Andrew here.
Here. Teacher, can I speak now?
You have my permission to speak.
Okay, thank you, mister. Okay. So yeah, as far as announcements, just a reminder, our website is now launched. If you go to the About section on Twitch, or if you go to the details page on YouTube, you can actually find a link there, but it's also just dfortress.com. No hyphen, no underscore, so just DFOURTRESS. And we are set up ready to start taking orders. All the orders that we do on there are custom handmade ones, made by yours truly. And we do it with sublimation ink, so it's like really nice.
There it goes.
Yep, and it's censored. It's censored. It. Nobody wants to see Wayne's face.
No, wrong. I infused the void inside of it,
like Artorias.
See, that's just a feature, man. That's how you know it's real.
It turns you invisible. Just for legal reasons, I have to say that's a joke.
But anyways, any purchases made on there, any donations made on the Twitch channel, or also if you log on to our Patreon, go directly to helping us basically dedicate more time and effort and energy to actually creating more content on here. So I mean, any purchase, any donation is greatly appreciated. And then as far as sponsorship goes, still the awesome We Geek Together store based in Provo, Utah. If you are in Utah, definitely go check them out. And I've said it a million times, and I've told a lot of people about them. It's actually one of my favorite role-playing stores to go to. It's very thematic. There's a lot of fun setup. They even have a wall with like potion bottles with dice on them. It's like not just a little display. It's like this huge thing. Anyways, I digress. So they're a gaming tavern. They got mead, food, candy, drinks. And then they also do their own little D&D games there as well. So if you wanted to try D&D, wanted to get into it, but you have a hard time finding a DM, you can actually go and set up with them, and they can get you help you get set up with that. So yeah, make sure to go check them out as well, because they are definitely worth it, and they're super cool. And that's everything I got. End scene.
And scene. All right, we will see you guys in 2 weeks. I'm just kidding. Before one last thing before we get into the episode tonight, Andrew and I have started picking up a bit more on our gaming streaming. So you can find me streaming live on Twitch at g.va. That's g_._va. And I've we basically just stream when we feel like it, but I've started taking a liking to doing some challenge runs in games here and there if you're interested in that. And then Andrew basically just does normal shenanigans. You can find him on Twitch as Special Sauce. That's special_sauce. And basically we just we stream pretty much whenever we're playing a game and we feel like it, which is pretty often. Andrew more so often than me, admittedly. And
I like the blind playthroughs, the scary games, because I'm a wimp, and then also just the bullcrap shenanigans with the group, just doing random games. It's fun. Come join us. It's fun.
And if you happen to miss any of those streams, a lot of what we do will end up on our I guess it's probably a good title to call it our sister channel on YouTube, D-Fourtress Gaming. It's just D-Fourtress, same exact way as it's spelled, space gaming. Pretty self-explanatory. And if you would like to see me when I am emotionless and stone-faced while playing a game, you are more than welcome to come join.
It's so fun to watch.
I only react after the boss is dead. I laser in. Good thing I don't do that during D&D, where it's like, it's a natural 20. All right. Unless anybody else has anything that they would like to add, happy preemptive 4th of July, and let's get into tonight's episode. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and roll the intro. And we are back. So, last time we left off, the Paragon were giving a ticking time bomb. They learned a lot of information about the current predicament, current goings-on, as well as learned of a secret society known as the Veil Keepers. Basically, a small group of people that have taken it upon themselves to help protect the material plane from threats that lie beyond, mainly stemming from the Blighted Lands. Learning that the historic figure known as Guthric Hardcastle still lives in a manor on the mountain, and that there are 7 current members of the Veil Keepers, not including the members of the Paragon should they wish to join up with them. The ticking time bomb, as I had mentioned earlier, is in the form of a mind flayer tadpole that has taken residence within Dante's body. The time bomb being the parasite will eventually consume Dante's brain and turn his organic matter into another mind flayer.
Yeah, we're fine. We're good.
Which he contracted via the tadpole being in stasis.
Whoa, this is a family show. Don't talk about how it's contracted. Whoa.
I thought only the Father's Day episode was educational.
Education all year round.
Which he was afflicted by through a bullet shot from the rifle of Megara, one of the
Wait a minute, are you telling me that you can get pregnant from a bullet?
You didn't know
No.
It makes sense.
We need to have a long talk.
And the Cromwell and Revelar proposed their plan of possibly putting a tracking device on Dante, and seeing as they wanted him alive, having him be taken to the hideout and then storming the hideout after the fact, with Dante inside as a sort of pincer attack, but ultimately leaving the choice up to the Paragon, as well as learning that the Academy security has since gotten that much more tight, as certain magical relics have gone missing from the Academy so it may prove a bit more difficult to gain entry, or entry might not be as entry might not be as easily obtained. However, after leaving the meeting and finding a night's rest in Dante's apartment, the normal hustle and bustle of the city around seems to do a stark contrast of what needs to be done weighing on your mind. So, as much as I love this soundtrack, it's a little bit too rustic.
It's a beautiful night.
It's too happy. We need the sad
/ day,
violin.
I'm not sure.
So, as you awake to a new day within...
I think it's still the day.
No.
Now it's the new day.
When you awake to
Good
a new
morning.
day in the one-bedroom apartment, knowing what must be done but not how to go about doing it. Paragon, time is now yours.
I'm going
Good
back
morning,
to bed.
everyone.
Crap, I need to stop drinking this water. Oh my gosh.
I'm
right.
I'm like in a deep sleep, and I have that Vine notebook over my face. Still asleep.
BB like drunkenly morning stumbles over towards Wayne and like does the thing that like cats and dogs do where they do like the stretch like this and pushes the thing off of Wayne as he does it.
That is
Well,
what...
Careful.
Wake up, Wayne! And he like
What day
and
is
he
it?
does a couple little pats on his cheek.
Ah, wait! And I go over and I'm like blurry-eyed. Go to Dante. You're still there?
Princess is on my face. Oh, princess.
You turned into a monkey.
What? I didn't want that. What?
Oh,
But yeah, I would like go up and like, I'm still like blinking the sleep out of my eyes, and as I'm just like looking in your eyes, like, I think he's good.
I feel okay. Okay, Wayne, I'm okay.
Wait, open your mouth.
There's
I don't see
definitely a
any
little bit of
tentacles.
princess drool like sliding down his forehead. As you're
It's
doing
like
this, too.
dried, so you can see like the white.
It's all crustified, just...
Ew, no, princess is a clean monkey. Very clean.
Right.
in denial. That's okay.
Well, I watch her lick her fur all the time. She licks all over.
Do
She
monkeys
takes baths
shed?
and everything.
I actually
They
don't
shed?
know. Do monkeys shed? I legitimately don't know.
I'm
Well,
sure
yeah,
they do.
Of
Yeah.
course.
We could ask
Yeah,
Wayne. He
I would
probably
assume
knows.
so.
I mean,
I see
humans shed.
her
Roll a history
scratching
check.
her butt all the time. She's very thorough.
They do shed their fur, yes.
Oh.
I mean, if humans do,
goodness.
then monkeys probably do too.
I guess that's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah,
I just molt. I don't shed.
That's fair.
once
Just
a
all
month.
comes off.
It's that time of the month.
Well, I'm thinking of going to the shops. I've got some non-burglary things to do. Thank you very much, Miss Cosmo. Last time I mentioned my jewels, you assumed that I was gonna go and rob someone or burgle. You said burgle.
I didn't
Don't-
think you
can't
would.
remember.
I just was warning you not to think about.
I'm just
spying.
shocked that that's the first place you would go with that. That's all.
Mhm.
Wayne is just sitting there,
teasing,
just like,
just teasing. But if anyone wants to go to the shops, I gotta go to the shops.
Phoebe, I'd love to come with you.
I think I'm good.
I only have about 6 gold on me. I just,
Mhm.
I kind of want to see. I know they said getting into the academy would be hard, but I still think it would be worth our time to at least try and get inside.
Yes. I think that's a good idea too, because we still have so much to learn, and we also have some new stuff that we wanted to look up, like stuff about what they already know about the mind flayers and stuff like that.
Well, it's just if we are going to give Dante as bait, I would rather be prepared
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yes.
than go in blindly.
That would be good.
You know, there are some people. There's some people I'm connected to that might have some ideas on what's to be done against a mind flayer. I mean, they're not book types like your people, Wayne. They're more underground.
Mole people.
More people.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Wow.
that's it. I'm gonna go talk to the mole people.
I
yeah.
thought that was going somewhere way
Is that-
different.
Is that how you can dig? That's where you
know,
learn to dig.
You learn a little bit when you live on the outside.
You think anybody has ever done a heist on a library just for the sake of study?
No.
Oh, I know. I
I
would do it
wouldn't
in a
suggest
heartbeat.
it,
I didn't
especially
say
now.
it's a good idea, but it made me laugh when I thought about it, and so now I'm actually considering
It sounds exciting.
I would venture a guess. Tenured university professors, yes.
That's how they got
Because
the
they
job.
said they heightened security after things have been going wrong, so
That's true,
I don't
they've
think
been
that would
losing
be a great idea. Just saying.
But the reward would be worth it. The
Would it
knowledge
so?
inside, I can only imagine.
But you'd only be able to get a few things, whereas if you went in there honestly, you could read so much more.
Hon-
Just saying.
Going in where, honestly,
suggestion.
how, what? What? I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know what she's getting on about. But I love you anyway, dear. You do you.
You steal books, you only read a few. You go in honestly, you read many.
Give me 5 minutes and I can find what we need in an honest day's time.
Okay,
I can
that's fair.
steal honesty if you tell me where it's kept.
Fair, but I don't think stealing is the way to go, especially since we're trying to be the good guys in this scenario.
My concern is that
Alright.
Dante doesn't die, so no matter what, I will get inside that library.
I like that idea. Okay,
not saying
let's
you
keep that
won't.
as a good priority.
Morals be
mean-
damned. I need the information, and Dante will not be killed.
But I'll go with you, and we can try and get in the library faster. Well, and if we can't, then we can break in. Okay? It should be
Okay.
Plan B.
All right,
Not-
let's try everything we can to do it.
What
a
What
legal
about
route
plan
first.
8.2?
That's a
No.
good number.
That typically
Letter,
comes before
I don't
B.
know.
I go inside, I activate the immovable rod, and no one can get in. Besides
Brilliant.
us.
Brilliant.
It opens the other way. Perfect.
Huh.
Is it only like a
Yes.
one-time use too? Is it just like, oh, dang
No.
it?
Oh,
okay.
goodbye.
Oh my gosh,
that would be awesome.
funniest thing ever.
That's no. You see that happen. You see Wayne just standing there, and then it cuts to outside the building, and you just hear the horn of silent alarm going off.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh.
All right,
That'd be
Vivi. Well, we
awesome.
can accompany you while you go shopping, and then we can come up with ideas while we're out and about.
Yeah. Sure.
All right. Well,
You
I'm
gonna come along, Audubon?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, good. I could use some muscle. I've already got. I could use another piece of muscle. Yeah.
Is this not good enough for you? What are you saying, Phoebe?
No, it's twice as good.
Good answer.
Saved it.
I could give you some muscle if you like.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Really?
All right.
Let me
Okay.
see.
Wayne,
what
we
you've
gotta
been
work on those
working-
jokes, buddy.
Let
Come
me see
on.
what you've been working on, buddy. Let's see it.
That was a joke, right?
No,
Oh.
I was serious.
Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got then.
Roll 1d4 emotional damage.
Yeah.
How did I roll a 6?
I prestidigitate the sound of a little like a little fart when Wayne tries to like flex.
Well, if
You just can't tell because I have my robes on.
You're very strong, Wayne. If you're going to the library, I guess I could come with you and be the secondary muscle for you.
That's she's all the muscle you'll ever need, Wayne. That's all you'll ever need.
I mean, just
Yeah, look at those guns.
I mean,
Unless
I
when
can
you
make my little rat move. Look.
Make the little rat move. That's clever.
As you are
It's fascinating.
as you're getting ready to leave at the door, there's a
Oh,
Huh?
that was a very hollow knock.
that
Do you
the
not
door?
have
More
a solid
badges?
door, Dante?
Vivi like dives into the couch, but his back and butt and tail are still like sticking out.
Yes.
Maybe it's probably fine. Let me go grab it real quick. All right, and open up the door. What do I see?
you see Inspector Cromwell standing in
nice.
front of you, and even though
Hello.
it's pretty early in the morning, he's still dressed in his and it's pretty hot out. He's still dressed in his fine black coat. He's got his cap on, monocle ready, and everything. He's dressed to the nines, as he normally is. Just like, yes. Well, I was able to pull a few strings after you left my office yesterday, and I figured while there is only so much I can do, that I may as well try to make this process as simple and easy as possible. So, as part of your service, and he reaches into his coat and pulls out a piece of paper. And I'm sure that you've had one of these before, but I offer you a writ of investigation to be voided once the final head of the triad has been apprehended.
So don't apprehend, that's what you're saying.
This is one of those moments where you drop the main quest and you go complete all the side quests with the
Exactly.
advantage. As Dante dies because we take too long.
That's true.
Guys,
No.
was it really worth it?
It was
Don't
worth
even
I forgot
say-
about that.
Yes.
Yeah, I would be
Ah.
looking over at rating.
Now,
So official.
with that paperwork, with that paperwork, you might be able to gain access to places you normally wouldn't, such as backstages, things like that, and possibly the academy. However, they do operate outside the normal city security, so they may have their own conditions. They may have their own conditions for that, and they still might tell you no, which currently they have all legal authority to do so, unless you are being accompanied by police themselves.
Brains, this will make it so much easier. My goodness. Thank you.
That is very helpful, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Cromwell.
Of course. However, most members of the academy are very private individuals, and may not be very receptive to you moving about their sanctuary, as it were.
Anyone in particular you recommend staying clear of, or just in general?
Mostly in general. Majority of the people that work there, or majority of the people that attend there or teach there are very, to put it politely, high society folk.
Will Revelar be busy today?
He is currently working on measures to deal with a mind flayer, but he is in his warehouse currently, should you need him.
Okay.
Maybe he
I was
could
thinking
help
if
us.
we need to be escorted, it might look more real if he were there with us. Also, I would love to find Professor Sella while we're in there.
That would be very good. Yes.
This is exciting.
Maybe she could read our minds.
That would be so cool. Maybe she could teach us how to read minds.
I would love that.
That would be awesome.
That sounds exhausting. Well, I have men I need to prep for, to have their minds assaulted. So, if you'll excuse me. And he takes his dueling cane, rests it on his shoulder as he starts descending the stairs.
Bye.
Classy
Have
man.
fun. See, this went so much better than I could have hoped. We pretty much have an almost getting free card.
Vivi, you look so disappointed.
I'm sorry. I was reading something. What?
Oh no.
Just the tag on the couch.
The shampoo
He found
bottle.
the shampoo
Reading
bottle.
something down in here. I just found it, and so I just started reading it. Now my bum's cold.
Dozed off for a little bit.
Just for a minute there, yeah.
He
What-
looked under
what
the
happened?
bed and found some of Dante's magazines.
So now we have a writ that will allow us entry in most parts of the city, or at least the library.
We
So
can
that's
try.
going to be helpful.
Oh, is that what we got?
Yeah.
I definitely want to go there. I mean, I don't have much interest in talking to mold people myself.
Well, we can get twice as much done then.
Yeah. Split the
I'm not very
party.
good with the
Great
books.
idea.
Like to help, but I feel like I'm probably better with more people.
If you want, Cosmo and I can go look at the library.
Is it possible that there's a third objective that we may want to achieve today?
Power of friendship.
Our
Yes.
friendship.
This
Go
is
team, go!
This,
Why
this
you
is
go to
this is
choose Dante?
DM reminding the players. I remember. I can't remember if it was the last episode or the episode before, but there was. I think one of you made the suggestion of possibly checking around to see equipments from like potions or magic stores.
Right,
the
that's
magic
kind of
store,
what I
things
was
like
thinking.
that. Yeah.
Right. 'cause
That-
when
yeah,
we
it was you,
actually
Sean,
got
that
around
did it.
to it the other time, it was like 3 in the morning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Um,
we decided not to.
BB, how much money is left over from Cosmos? From her
Cosmo has
collection?
no money left. Cosmo is in debt to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I only have 6
Insight
gold.
check.
Cosmo's
Shut the
not
books.
sure.
I have some money to pay off, and then Cosmo can begin gaining money again. Yes, that. Yep.
Okay. Never mind then.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know if bribery would be useful.
Hopefully,
Ask for discounts to get in.
well, or maybe just threaten them. That might work.
Why so? I feel like that would make them call for reinforcements and get us kicked out.
They're nerds. They don't do stuff like that. They just crumple.
Don't
He's right.
underestimate anyone,
When I get a moment, I should draw up like a.
I call it
map
a
of the
strategic
city.
retreat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are not a threat. Please be our friend.
Be our friend.
Or die. Is that the line? No? Okay.
But yeah, there's not much. I would love to go shopping, but I am short on gold right now.
Well, hopefully I'll
So
make
am I,
some.
evidently.
Really.
Is there anything you'd like for us to look out for you, or just in general, see if we can find anything?
I think if you guys could look at various potions. I know healing potions are the most simple ones, but I mean, I know there are other potions that have magical properties and beneficial supplements and things inside of them that potentially could be useful. I don't know their cost. I don't know their rarity or any of that. But if you visit any apothecaries, ask to see what other kind of potions they might have apart from health potions.
Well,
If you find
we can
any
do that.
chocolate, I'd love that.
A
Of
chocolate
course.
potion.
A chocolate potion.
Oh, that would be amazing. Oh my goodness.
Just a chocolate syrup bottle.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Yes. Plus 2 to energy.
Everyone pulls out their health potions and
Yeah.
Cosmo's there with her chocolate. Mm.
Yes.
Make an intimidation check. You just got cut across the chest, and you just pull out chocolate syrup. Ah!
Charges in.
Which way are you going to go, Dante?
I'll go with Vivi and Ardaman.
All right.
Sounds good. Well, I guess we can get going then. Just by sunset, if we haven't found each other, meet back here. Something like that.
Something like that, yes.
Do you keep a key hidden in your garden somewhere, Dante? Like maybe underneath a little rock?
Oh yeah.
You've got
Exactly.
one
just
of
like-
those little key
Yeah.
hideaways?
Underneath the
Yeah.
doormat.
A
Yep,
very
exactly.
brightly colored rock. So he doesn't forget.
It's inconspicuous.
A reminder,
No key here,
Dante's
yeah.
like the 6th floor up, and it's like a metal staircase. So it's basically a metal staircase going up, and like
Fire escape.
a 4-foot. Yeah, it's basically the entrance is a fire escape.
Yeah.
Oh,
Enter at your
gosh.
own risk, ninja warrior to get up there. Yes.
It's a
Is
good
that
thing.
why we always had to leave one at a time, never all together? Is that the reason? Okay.
Didn't want to say it out loud, but it happened to be that every time.
Make sure,
Safety
make
first.
sure one person gets all the way down to the bottom before the next person steps out.
And then call up. Yeah.
It's like a water slide.
Otherwise, the
Yeah.
stairs just break. Fall.
Oh, that would terrify me.
Barely
that,
hanging
like,
on.
that image got like a visceral reaction out of me. I don't like that.
Moving on.
It's
Let's go.
terrifying.
Right, let us go.
So, by all means, Cosmo, you go first.
What? Oh, okay.
Nudged.
Well, seeing
And we
as
jump on the top as you're going down.
She's the unaware people with the plot armor, where as much as it's wobbling and stuff, she doesn't notice. She just wants us on down.
So, seeing as the academy is closer, we can start with Team Academy for the moment. So,
Academia.
because that one you can walk to within a little bit, you don't have to take a trolley to that one.
Mm.
So, as you approach, you're greeted with that same. Exterior wall with the little, basically check-in stations built into the wall with the glass doors going into them. With lines of people going out, and once again, as you approach. As you enter in, there are the 3 lines, one for staff check-in, one for student check-in, and a line for guest check-in.
I would say
Shouldn't we go get one guy first?
first I want to try just the staff check-in. Just say, well, we're already here. We might as well try. Let me try doing the talking.
Okay.
Gonna go to the staff check-in.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Smile from Gavin.
as you wait in line,
Oh boy.
as you wait in line, you finally make it up to the front after probably almost like 20 minutes. Goes up, and you see this lady. She's got older lady, heavy set, half moon spectacles on her nose, just like employee ID.
We have this, and then I'll show her the writ.
That's gonna be at the guest check-in.
Okay.
You don't skip the line. I'm watching.
Oh no, I enjoy the line. It's okay.
Always watching.
I imagine you have a beautiful singing voice. And then walk away.
Make a persuasion check.
Or deception check.
Or deception.
I'm gonna go with
Miss Moz.
What is
I'm gonna
Wayne
go with a
believe?
deception check.
It's our first seduction
that's a 22.
of the campaign.
22.
Yes.
Ooh, there
22.
you go.
Aw.
First seduction. I like
It's
it.
just like, aw, thank you, darling.
She could really get into heavy metal.
Well, something called screamo.
Construction? Like,
So
Oh my
you
gosh.
head to
I'm
the
not here.
opposite, the line on the
Blacksmithing.
opposite side, and as you get to the front, another awkward wait, probably awkward for you, Cosmo, not so much for Wade. Get
Yeah,
up to the
especially
front.
since there are so many people just in the line.
Yeah.
It's like,
Get up to the front, and there's like a middle-aged man there to greet you. He's just like, "Yes, hello. What can I do for you?"
Yes, so we have a special writ from the head inspector, Cromwell. We are currently helping him with the job, and part of that job requires that we gather intel, which we strongly believe the information could be gained inside of the library. So we come asking or requesting access just to the book section so that we may gather some intel. And I would also say Professor Yigvon is also aware of the situation and has been assisting us as well.
Well, do you have any requisite paperwork?
With that, like, which kind of paperwork do you want?
A written letter of recommendation, invitation.
Oh, I did forget to grab that from Yigvon. It was verbal, but I forgot to grab the written. He's currently working at his warehouse right now, so we were closer to here, so we thought we would come here.
Do you have any other paperwork?
And then I would pull out some of the application paperwork with the thing saying, hey, like, here's our thing that we are a mercenary group, and then the writ just saying, hey, we are actively helping the investigation. Emphasis on the, hey.
Hey! So,
hey!
in order to get in with this much, I'm going to need a persuasion check from you.
Yes.
Do
On
this
Wayne.
too. If you get even close to the same as the last roll.
Can I cast guidance on myself while I'm showing him the paper?
You can do the, hey.
Yeah!
Hit him with a
So,
hey.
That's
Hey!
kind of what I was thinking, like, hey,
Hey.
so...
I will allow it.
Okay.
Woo.
So I got a 4 on the guidance, but...
Oh no.
So that is 6 plus 4 plus 4, so that's 14 on the
14.
persuasion. 14 on the persuasion. Wait, make sure it's not a 9. Yeah, that's a 6.
14.
Like, that's cutting it close.
And a 14, it's just like, I suppose that if you are actively helping with a police investigation, then it would be uncouth of me to deny you access. However, given recent security threats to the academy, I will have to ask that you be escorted by 2 members of our security at all times.
I find those accommodations very adequate. And the main thing, like I said, was to check out the library. And then if an opportunity presents itself, I do also have a couple questions for Professor Cello as well. Which it is perfectly okay that the those following are privy to that as well.
Well, I can't say. I can't speak for Professor Cello. Security will be able to guide you to her lecture hall.
Well, thank you very much. What was your name?
Sebastian.
Sebastian, I'm Wayne. It's been a pleasure talking.
Of course. And here you
are, and he slides across the table 2 visitor passes.
Hand one over to Cosmo, and then I put it right next to my badge that is poorly sewn onto my chest.
And you see him kind of flag down 2 soldiers. So unlike the Alabaster Guard, these academy soldiers, they don't have any visible weapons on them. And what you see is they have full-plated helmets with the visors down and kind of plated arm guards and gauntlets. A breastplate and greaves, like almost full plate. However, underneath you do see these flowing white and blue robes that kind of come out from underneath them a little bit, where it's like, yes, they do have some hefty armor. However, it seems that they did sacrifice some sturdiness. They're not full on tanks. They sacrifice some defense for mobility. So kind of closer to medium armor, mechanically speaking. But as they kind of go and they flank you on either side, and one of them gestures towards the door to the academy grounds.
While we're walking, I would totally be asking them a lot of questions. Just be like, oh, I find your armor so interesting. Is it made custom to order? Or do you guys have like a massive supply that you go collect from? Is this your own, or is it like a group one? Also, what's it like working at the academy? I mean, I must be so exciting going in, and I'm just gonna be talking their ear off the entire time.
And all your questions are greeted with dead silence.
I still continue.
But as
I don't think I would have given
enter,
them space to talk.
As you enter the grounds, you see the 5 towers just casting shadows over the city, with the one gargantuan center tower with with bridges connecting them all together. And the bridges have glass walls on each of them, so you see students running about to their running from tower to tower from the top. And the grounds themselves have these gorgeous have these gorgeous gardens that are built up, and looks like rec areas. And you do see there are also a couple outdoor like training grounds, as you see students casting spells, casting magics on test dummies and illusions as they're being as they're being instructed by professors. And
so talented.
And everything
really marvelous.
And everything has very ornate, handcrafted feel to it.
You know, this is really. I could spend a long time here.
So could
just
I.
exploring the details. Just imagine the things you could learn while you're here.
Just imagine how long it took to build something like this. Imagine what was the person who designed it like? Who came up with this? How did they come up with it?
You know, it's not too unlike it. It kind of reminds me of the cave back home a little bit. Just more outdoors.
I'm
I'd
like
to see that.
I'm like clicking on the different tabletop things because I haven't listed all of them. It's like, oh, this one might work. Nope, that sounds sinister. This one is probably going to be the best one.
I just love the atmosphere of learning. I mean, there's so much more, so much that I don't know that I would love to learn.
Yes, I'd love to learn a lot of things.
So, so the security that are on either side of you lead you to the northernmost tower, and these towers, the five on the outside are all the same height, and they go up to about 500 feet tall, where the center tower is twice that. And so,
Because I'm like, because we in my rambling, I would have said, hey, we want to go to the library, so we would just be following the guards wherever they're taking us.
yeah, and so the northernmost tower, as they go, you're greeted with several sets of glass doors again. As you enter, you just see thousands upon thousands of shelves of books, rounded shelves of books that kind of go out into these layers. And as you kind of start stepping towards the center, you realize about every 30 feet or so, there's another walkway. Another walkway. Every 30 feet up or so, there's a walkway going up for the entirety of the 500 feet. Floors upon floors. Thousands upon thousands of shelves of books going. You see some books that are being automatically sorted to their place, so some books are gently floating across the way. And you see these students going reading at desks around, and there's also against the walls, there's little alcoves in the walls, circular alcoves, as you see students step into those alcoves, and then a circular platform raises them up to different floors and back down.
I'm getting very strong vibes of that gif of Belle on the ladder, like.
Except now it's gonna be Wayne.
Right.
And he's gonna fail a deck save and fall 500 feet to his death.
Oh. Get that
It's okay.
snowball.
I'll use my horn of alarm, and someone at the top will hear me because it reaches 500 feet.
What was that? I don't know.
Oh, did you hear
Did
that?
you hear-
No. Okay, I guess I was imagining it.
And I think so. Wayne would like kind of grab Cosmo's sleeve. He's like, "Look how huge this thing is." I mean, I have a lot of books at home, but I mean, the total amount of books we have in our library is maybe even only like half of this. And he points to just one of the big columns. He's like, maybe only half of one of these. The fact that they have this many, that is incredible.
This is the most books I've ever seen in my life. I mean, that's not hard to do, but still.
It's still true.
It's still true.
Technically true is still true.
I've only ever been able to really read a few because, I mean, I was taught how to read a little bit, but, not as well as these people must know. And actually, I was going to, and she kind of glances at the guards a little self-conscious now, and she lowers her voice a little. I was actually going to ask you at some point if you could teach me how to write a little bit.
Yes.
I mean it. I know how to read and speak common and infernal and orcish, but I don't really know how to write. Kind of difficult to teach that behind bars. So if you would, I would really appreciate that.
I think that would be fun. I mean, I always like sharing my stories that I read.
Okay. Just a little kiss.
I'm gonna learn.
Yeah. I'm gonna learn from Wayne.
Not fair.
Come on.
I want some lessons too.
All right. And so begins the search within the tower. However, we'll pause right there for a bit and go to team, I don't know, shopping.
Team Mole.
Team Avatar.
Team Underground.
So,
Team Princess. Definitely Team Princess.
Yeah.
Team Princess.
Little
So,
do you know, Princess is with you.
so if you
Just underneath my
Oh
poncho.
no. Princess is definitely with Dante. Like
Yeah.
monkey on the back Yoda style and everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
So take the trolley to the market district. It's going to be 2 silver each.
2
Fine,
silver.
it's okay. It's
not
okay.
not a 1.
Oh, wait, sorry. Yeah, 1
2?
silver
Yeah.
each. Yeah, that's
Oh
right.
my goodness. Okay.
1 silver each. Yeah, yeah.
Inflation is crazy, man.
Well,
It's gonna be
Spurs
2
sell too.
platinum now.
The
yeah, I'm out of that
economy.
city. I left.
How, you didn't have money for the trolley? Not just kidding.
I do, but they don't deserve it.
You hijack a trolley only to realize you can't steer it, and they know exactly where you're going.
I have like, hiya, go.
Where's the start button? So, but as you take the trolley to the market district, the normal busy area that you're starting to become a bit more familiar with takes your sights. The various shops that line around, all manner of shops, oddities, as well as the smell of certain restaurants being around, wafting into the air. Definitely much more expensive and higher things than Dante's frequented place. It's no meatball mansion, but you might be able to find some more gourmet things. And just a normal hustle and bustle of the city, people going on shopping trips, as well as carts being loaded and unloaded as shipments and supplies are being put into storefronts from warehouses. All the stuff that you'd expect of a busy marketplace. So, what are you doing?
Well, Vivi, you had something in mind, right?
I certainly do. Yeah, I'm trying to find a jewelry specialist. Yeah.
All right. So, you do. It doesn't take too long to find it. It's actually pretty near the general store
Okay.
that you went. You do manage to find. You do manage to find a somewhat small building, but looks very nicely made, well kept. And it's called the Speckled Quartz.
The speckled quartz. That's adorable. Well, before heading in, I put my hand down in my bag and I'm feeling around for I have got 2 items that I would like to sell. I'm feeling like fortune might favor the bold, and so I cast distort value twice on my 2 items before going inside. The 2 items in question, Gavin, are a 50 gold diamond, or a diamond worth 50 gold. This is what I got this all the way back several sessions ago. And then also a silver pocket watch with emblazoned griffin, which was another pickpocketed item from several sessions ago that I've just been hoarding for a little bit. And so with those cast, I do my little dance and shuffle into the speckled quartz, was it?
Yep, the Speckled Quartz.
Speckled quartz.
I don't suspect a thing, nor do I care.
All right.
Hello.
So as you walk in, there's all manner of like jewelry and things, accessories. So you're seeing rings, hairpins, there's watches, there's things like that. So just a lot of accessory and jewelry and things. And so it's a pretty small space, but what's in that small space looks very, very nice, very well made. And as you go in, you see you see a half elven woman. She's got kind of a tanned skin, and she's got her hair is pulled back into a very tight bun. A very tight bun. As you see, she's inspecting a rough cut red stone with a monocular, kind of a magnifying glass.
And she's the only one in the shop.
Yes, she's the only one currently there.
Okay, cool. I stroll up to her quietly while she's inspecting her thing, and then stand at the counter and place my watch and my diamond on the counter, and then I just wait patiently without making a noise.
All right, make a stealth check.
Oops, wrong. Ignore that. That was the wrong one. 17.
17. All right. So as you kind of go, she's looking at it, and then she puts it down, and then, oh, hello there.
Hello. Hello. I didn't want to interrupt your business.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Helping customers is my business. So,
Oh, well,
I apologize.
maybe in that case, how long has it been since someone wanted to help you, love? How long has it been, really?
Oh,
Charm check here.
give me a persuasion.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be a nat one, sir.
And she kind of just goes and just like, I mean, I've learned how to manage on my own. Don't really need help.
Right.
Really need coach help.
Right. I don't know what I was suggesting with that. Never mind. Well, as you can see,
And she shows her left hand. She's like, I'm taken. I don't think my wife would appreciate that. So.
oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Let me see. That's beautiful. Let me see that. That's beautiful. Put your hand out there, love.
And there's just this big, like this very smooth, paradoxically smooth sphere of what looks to be obsidian.
So the ring is obsidian.
The
gem.
The gem. Yeah, the gem.
That's cool.
I would like to attempt. Are they showing it to me?
Yeah. She's.
She is.
Yeah.
I would like to attempt to remove it and replace it with a minor illusion of itself.
The ring itself, or the gemstone itself.
No, I've got stuff to sell first. Never mind. I think better of it.
You can certainly attempt to, but
I think better of it. It's okay. I got stuff I need to unload
Little Cosmo shoulder angel.
before I make any.
He just did
bad
a quick
decisions.
save, quick reload.
Yeah, before I make any bad decisions, I want to make some good ones. Well, that's beautiful, love. I apologize for being so forward there.
it's fine. Well,
As
you
you
never
can
know if
see-
you don't try.
You never know. That's good. I like that. Princess circle round and round. All right. As you can see, I've got some things here for you. If you wouldn't mind taking a look at those.
All right. So you lay out both those things. Let me grab
Yes.
my dice. All right. I didn't give you the value of the platinum watch, did I?
Correct. No, you called it a silver watch, not a platinum.
Oh wait, no, that was a different. Yeah.
It could be platinum. Say
I
platinum.
recognize
I mean,
that I
if you
might have just
insist.
I might have just
no, I remember it was
boxed myself on that in the foot.
it was
but-
it was the other campaign. I gave him a platinum watch, my home game.
right. But if nothing else, Vivi is honest.
All right. What is your
honor among thieves?
for the distort value? What is your spell save DC?
And
okay.
okay.
because
Reducing or
the
increasing
first
perceived
one
value.
inspecting the diamond, she failed because
Successful intelligence investigation check against your spell save DC, which is 14.
Yeah. Okay, 14. All right. So for the diamond, she got a 10. 10 total. So she's like,
Mhm.
all right. I could probably take this off your hands for about, let's say, 100 gold.
Oh, okay. And for the other?
Natural 1.
Hmm.
As she looks at the watch.
That one I'm very reticent to get rid of. Okay, I that one's very special, very special.
Yes, craftsmanship is.
I'll go ahead and do a deception
nice.
roll on that.
Yeah,
That'll be a 12.
12. All right. So for the deception one, it's pretty low. There's not like any way you
Pretty
give
mid.
yourself. Yeah, not a way you could give yourself away because the spell had already worked. She failed to distinguish the spell.
Yep.
However, I would say not quite enough to increase the value even further than doubling what it was originally worth.
Respect. Okay.
So it's just like, ooh, craftsmanship is nice. So, ooh, I could give you about another 150
Another 150
on top of the 100 for the diamond. So I could take both these off your hands for 250 total.
That is generous. That is generous. Counter offer. The 100 for the diamond, the 150 for the platinum watch. Wink, wink. And if you throw in a set of Tinker's tools, then you have a deal. Just a set, any old Tinker's tools set.
Make a persuasion check.
I would like to give myself a Wayne treatment on that.
Hey.
Yeah, you're good.
Hey.
That's why you have it.
Okay, so base roll of
It's
14
copyrighted.
plus the D4, an 18.
18.
Hey.
She kind of just like, I suppose I could part with one of my spare sets.
Thank you. Okay, I think we have a deal. Thank you very much. And at that moment, Princess will be behind her to pickpocket her as well.
All right, sleight of hand check.
Like
That
I'm just
will
kind
be-
of just browsing. I'm not here. Like I'm looking around.
I do not know him. No.
No, you guys are outside the window.
A 15 for the sleight of
15.
hand.
All right. That still beats her passive perception. So Princess manages to grab something, and then scuttle over back to you.
Thank you. That will go almost complete. I do want to visit a blacksmith to pick up ammo,
Okay.
and
Just
then
let me
that'll
get that fixed as well. The gun.
Well, actually, I can try to do it myself with the Tinker's tools. That's what I got them for.
Oh.
Perfect.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Do it myself.
Yeah, anybody could use the Tinker's tools to repair them. I think the thing that makes the gunslingers better is I believe they can do it as a part of their bonus action. They can attempt to repair it as a bonus action when they misfire.
Since we're here in the market, can I find? I would assume a blacksmith has bullets,
So
or would this be like a gunsmith that might have? It might be a little different.
So this one's a bit harder. So the actual blacksmith itself is another trolley ride away. This one is a more storefront, so the less of a blacksmith, more of weapons for sale kind of a deal. However, I say make an investigation check, and she's gonna give you just a quick little wave as you head out.
Nat 20.
Natural
Nice.
20. All right, so. As you're making your way through, you kind of have to go a little out of your way. It's a bit harder to find, but eventually you find one called. You find this building that, interestingly, doesn't have very many other buildings around it. There's a lot of dead space around it. and it is called the Powder Keg.
Powder keg. All right. Well, I intend to buy just a bit more ammunition for these fun toys we found.
You need anything, Dante, at the blacksmith?
Yeah.
If they have like a health potion or something, that's just the last kind of thing I need.
That's more of like the magic shop, or the potion to the alchemist.
The
Or
apothecary.
general store or something.
Apothecary.
Well,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
general
They-
store too.
Health potions are so
Yeah.
widely useful that most people are willing to. Most stores that.
I'll have a couple on hand.
Yeah, they got a couple on hand. Would
Yeah.
It's like when you go to a gas station, they have their little stand of like, hey, buy these snacks. It's just like at the counter, hey, look, you want a health potion? I got plenty of health potions.
Yeah, but the difference is that snack will save your life and cost like $500.
So yeah,
Basically
the
just
same thing.
Doritos. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. So as you enter the Powder Keg, you see this. You do see this. This heavy set, the dwarf, kind of working, and there is a strong scent of smoke and singed hair that's there. And as you look, you see this dwarf. Soot is covering his face. His hair is just all the way back, and he's got a pair of goggles. And as you enter, he kind of goes, just like, "Oh, welcome. What can I do for you?"
And Vivi's like leaning over to like Artavan and Dante. Is that how dwarves always greet people?
That's how a blacksmith always greets people.
Yes.
Like, this is my domain. I used to be a blacksmith.
Oh, maybe you should talk to him then.
Well, what are you looking for?
Um,
I can be your owl, yes.
I whisper, it's ammunition for the two gun types.
Do you sell any ammunition here for guns?
Pepper box, and the
Bad news.
bad news.
Yes, we have
I
a
do have some.
a couple guns are in need of ammunition.
Alright, let me just see.
Heck, if we had the materials, I could probably try and do it too.
Ooh, what a fun
Paragon.
project for a day.
Is it, he kind of goes just like, "Oh, yeah. You're dabbling in some black powder, are you?" Yeah.
Looks like it.
Yeah, for the hand can, or for the pepper box, we can get you a box of 20 shells for about 40 gold.
20 for
Okay,
40?
for the pepper box. Is that that's the small one or the large one?
Mhm.
The small one. I see.
20 for 40. And what about the
20
other
for
one?
40.
Yeah, what about for the rifle?
He always rolls insight, but I have a 0 modifier. Perfect.
Take a D4, an extra D4 on it.
All right, that'll change.
Give it some more on it.
Oh, that doubled it from a 2 to a 4.
Yes.
Love it, Artavan. I love it.
This-
Wow, that's a really good price.
I did the math wrong. The pepper box is 20 for 20. The bad news is 60 for 20. That's what it was.
60 bullets for 20 gold.
Yeah.
I like
no,
that
no.
a lot.
20 bullets for 60
Yes.
gold.
Balls.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I heard the other way. Okay.
We know what you meant. Yeah.
Wink, wink. You have to say it. You don't actually wink. Wink, wink.
And then go slide some money over to Gavin real quick.
Well,
If you subscribe to our Patreon, I will lower the prices for our players.
Andrew's worst nightmare.
well, can I see the wares? Is it on a shelf somewhere?
Well, I've got it behind the counter here. And he puts the boxes down and slides it, and they're in these like these small little, tiny little wooden boxes. Almost looks like a bento box. And then as he slides the case out, slides almost like a drawer, slides it out of a cover. You see the bullets in there. And they look well made.
Do you mind if I just look at these for a little bit before I make my decision?
Aye, you're more than welcome to.
Thank you. All right, Ardavan, you distract him for him. I mean, you talk to him for a minute.
Sorry, do a dance. So if is there any way that perhaps we can get a discount on the? I am a blacksmith myself. Maybe I can offer some services to help you catch up with work or projects, doing some of the basic work.
Well,
Just temper some steel, stuff like that. Speed up.
well,
We could do
that. For the shells,
I think we can do that.
Most of the material I use is black powder and brass. So if you could perhaps supply me with some extra black powder, I could part with some ammunition for a lower price.
So that's a no to my offer. Because I don't know if do we have black powder? Do either of you have black powder on you?
Let me check it. Let me check the
I don't
inventory.
believe so.
I definitely don't think I do.
Negative. Sorry, Ardavan.
I don't really have a. Actually, make a persuasion check.
Are you sure about that?
With
Insight.
guidance.
Wow, I am on a roll.
Single digits.
I hit
Dang
the
it.
button, but it's not rolling. But there we go. 12. Perfect. Adjusted the DC.
Don't really need a second pair of hands at the moment.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's during that disappointing statement that VV casts distort value on the bullets to make them look not good. But just like some of them, not the whole set.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And I'd also go up to the guy and ask him if he's got any health potions for sale.
Oh, no, I can't really keep. I don't have any health potions here. Can't really keep glassware around because it's liable to explode.
I understand. Just want to make sure. Thank you, sir.
Of course.
All right. Well, I picked out a bunch of the ones that are clearly subpar. This is not your finest work, but I'll take it off your hands. Say for half the price.
It is a 12 for investigation, which does not beat the DC, your spell save DC. So as he's going, he looks at it just like, oh, that batch must be getting quite old.
That must be really old. Don't worry, I won't tell no one. It's good for me. It's good for you. I'm gonna take 20 of the pepper box and 20.
Oh, you cut out
So
for a
let's
bit.
see. 20 of the pepper box, and then 20 of the bad news.
Which I
That's-
believe equates to 50.
10 and
That would be
10 and 30,
80.
40.
because you said
that-
it was 60 for
60 and
20.
So that's 80
would be-
gold in total for both boxes at normal price.
So
But-
40 gold at half price.
40 gold so 40 gold at half price. But for 20 of each set.
Yeah,
Yeah,
28
yep.
each set. Full price is 80 gold.
Yeah. So yeah, you distort it by half, which would be 40, which means you'd pay 40 for all that. And so
Well, I guess that's a sale then.
And so he's just like,
I count out 20 gold.
I mean, I guess I'd be a right get for
Oh,
selling.
40. Excuse me, 40 gold.
I guess I'd be a right get for selling bad product at full price.
Hey, don't worry. I won't tell no one. I won't tell anybody.
Half off sounds fair.
I'll just come back, and anytime stuff gets old, I'll find it. Don't worry. And then if you are looking for help for work, my friend Artavan here, he's a great worker.
I look somewhat longingly at the forge because he does. It's like one of his favorite things to do.
And then
to
there's
get his
immediately
mind off.
sad violin playing behind him.
What is that?
Some people
Oh,
enjoy
right.
fishing. Other people like a nice day at the forge.
Yep.
So 40 gold, we
Well-
said, right?
Yeah, 40 gold.
Okay.
It's like, well, I guess if I ever need extra gun barrels or something like that, I know who to find.
And Gavin, what was the name of this shop?
The powder keg.
Okay.
That name is
Makes
very
sense.
misleading.
It's perfect. He needs the powder.
Black powder shop. Got it.
That's it. That's all I need.
Hmm.
Thank you very much, sir. Oh, and as we're thanking him and exchanging money, Princess picks his pocket
Right? Sleight of hand.
with an added D4. It's gonna be 23.
Oh yeah, he doesn't even notice he had a monkey the entire time.
Nope. Nope. And then we get out of there.
All right. Right. So
All right. Yep.
as you head out, stocked up. Are there any other shops that the other two of you would like to?
Right. Well, we do want to visit the apothecary, and I do want to make another stop at the magic shop. But the apothecary is probably the next thing.
And that was a black powder shop. Did you guys still want to go see the blacksmith? Because it's like a specialized blacksmith you were just at.
Right. He's a gunsmith.
The blacksmith is another trolley ride away.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Sorry, Wayne isn't here.
You try to cast a message.
Yeah. Over.
Remember
I
the
said-
blacksmith. Remember.
Where's the blacksmith? That is an old reference.
That is an old reference.
Still fills me with joy. All right, so the apothecary. I believe you guys have passed it before, but I don't think you guys entered, because the last healing potions you found was in the general store.
Mhm.
So as you're going, Storysill does have a few apothecaries. However, the one that would most suit you guys, the one that's for more adventurer level things, so not your weird,
Medicines and
not so much medicines
stomach flu.
and teas.
The
yeah.
pharmacy.
Yeah. Rather than local pharmacy, the ones for adventurers, your utility potions, actually is very close to the Arcanorium, the magic shop.
Perfect.
And as you're going, you do see behind, it's only a couple buildings down. However, when you're making your way down the road behind, there are some exchanges where they do some supply exchanges every now and then. But as you're going, you manage to find pretty easily find that apothecary, and as you're approaching, you're greeted with a sign that reads, "Let me pull up my DM notes."
You want to take this one, Dante?
Please.
Sorry,
Rooted in Storysill. That's what I called it. Yep, rooted in Storysill.
All right. Okay, Gavin. So yeah, I'm just gonna walk in and start browsing around and see if anyone comes and helps me out.
As you enter, you do you see a as you enter you see a kind of he looks a little bit too large for behind the counter space, but you actually see a large minotaur kind of hunched over the counter. He's got this kind of like goldish fur about him, these pale horns that hook down, and his mane is braided down the side, and he's got a tuft of a beard that's also braided. And as you go in, he's like, "Let me know if you need anything."
Actually, now that you mention it, can you point me in the direction of your health potions?
Oh, healing potions. Yes, I do have some on hand. I have, let me see.
And he kind of goes,
I have 3 in stock at the moment.
And what's your rate for each of them?
The standard market price of 50 gold a bottle.
Okay. And do you happen to have any other special items in stock right now? You know, items that usually are just, I don't know, something specifically that only you sell, or just unique items?
Well, most of what I do is I focus on potions, as well as potions and much more consumable potions and oils. I do have a let me see, what was it?
Si se puede.
I rolled for it like this morning to see what it was. I rolled on a table, but I'm trying to find where I wrote it down. Ah, that's what it was.
This place smells funny.
I also do have as given being in close proximity with the with a shop such as the Arcanorium, we get more than our fair share of mercenaries through here, and so I like to concoct little things that might be useful to them.
Oh, do tell.
Recently what I've been working on is I have a batch of 2 potions of fire breath.
Now, what does this do? I've never even heard of one of those.
I'm going to read the description right here. So just so you know, as a
He
player,
like pulls up a little. Let's see.
yes.
May cause itching, diarrhea.
That one.
Speak to your local doctor if you experience any of these side effects.
Erectile
If-
dysfunction.
If burning lasts for more than 4 hours, see your local apothecary.
So
Or crematorium.
this is after drinking this potion, you can use a bonus action to exhale fire at a target within 30 feet of you. The target must make a DC 13 dexterity saving throw, taking 4d6 fire damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. The effect ends after you exhale the fire 3 times or when 1 hour has passed. And then the potion's orange liquid flickers, and smoke fills the top of the container and wafts out whenever it is opened. So you drink it, and you get 3 uses of fire breath. But if you don't use them within an hour, which in combat is 100 rounds, then
600 rounds.
Oh, sorry, 600 rounds.
Yeah.
600 rounds, which I sincerely hope I never run an encounter that does that. Then
But our sponsors want
Yeah.
to.
going for a world record. Longest
yeah.
combat. Totally not tedious. But yeah. So basically, you get 3 fire breath that you can target on a thing.
So you're saying it's really spicy?
It has been known to cause some heartburn, but the opponents feel the worst effects of it. But the heartburn is usually mild.
That's
And how
fair.
much are one of these potions?
I sell them for 100 gold a bottle.
Now, one other thing, I'm curious if you had anything in this realm. We are. There's been this magical fella who's been kind of pestering us. Do you happen to have any potions that might help to either fortify against magical effects, either for your mind or resisting something magical? We're hoping just to, get the upper hand next time.
I personally don't have any of that, but I was talking with my friend Veneri over at the Arcanorium, and she was saying her sister did supply some things of that nature, magical items that ward off certain effects and attacks.
Okay. Let me get this clear. Her name is Venereal.
Veneri.
Veneri.
Thank you. I heard something completely different.
No, yeah, that's the cereal brand.
Tasty.
Well, that's perfect. That's it's on the list. Places
Now,
to go.
Vivi thinks Veneri is also tasty, but in a different way.
Yeah, not spicy. Well, maybe spicy.
I actually would really love that health potion and the fire breath potion.
How many of each?
Just one of each.
That will be 150 gold.
Fire breath.
All right,
One
we'll
of
do
the
it.
wind spells.
I'll slide it.
I think you can give him a bit of a discount. Come on, then. That's a bit steep, don't you think?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, honestly, I mean, we will be regular customers. We unfortunately get into quite the amount of predicaments, and so
And we're working with local law enforcement. I show him the badge.
yeah. Ding ding.
Of course. We'll make a persuasion check. This is going to be a pretty darn high DC, as he is quite literally central potion traffic for the dozens of mercenary groups in the
Can he
city.
do it at advantage?
I mean, the two of you did speak like.
You can both make one.
Both make one. And then
24,
Dante,
baby.
Take an extra 1d4 on yours.
Oh,
Whoa.
gladly.
I only got a 9, so it's all on you, buddy.
25 total then.
Woo!
25
Is that
was
a crit?
25.
25 total. That was the DC.
Woo!
25 was the DC.
Let's go, Jeremy.
Yo!
Yes.
So it's just like, I suppose I can offer a discount for a new customer. Let's say paying 150 gold total. Knock 25 gold off of that.
I'd appreciate that. Thank you, sir. And I give Vivi a little wink.
I give you a little mage hand fist bump.
Yeah.
Cheapskates.
And
Yeah.
as they're exchanging gold, Princess picks his pocket.
Right.
Actually.
Sleight of hand.
I guidance Princess. That'll be 18.
18. He does not notice.
So this was a second blacksmith, right? It wasn't the same shop.
No,
Apothecary.
This is an
An
apothecary.
apothecary.
The
Thank you.
apothecary, yeah.
Not every
you.
shop
Got
is a blacksmith, guys.
Right.
Every shop could be a blacksmith, though.
All they need is fire.
All they need is the same guy running between all of them.
Hey guys, what was the name of that potion again, Gavin? Was it Fire Breath? Is that what it's called?
Potion of
Potion
fire.
of
breath,
fire
yeah.
breath.
You should
Potion-
actually be
okay.
able to find that and be able to add it on D&D Beyond.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Potion of fire breath.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
That's certainly a lot of time for the shoppers club. The buyers.
We're wheeling and dealing out here, okay? All day,
Yeah.
okay?
It's actually a
Get
really
sweat
cool
on.
potion.
It's a good thing
Yeah.
you didn't go to the discount apothecary.
All right, guys,
That's where the
let's
fun stuff is.
let's start the long, arduous
This one
trek
just
across the
causes
city
heartburn.
to get to my contact I've got. I think
Hey.
I've got.
Well,
Do we need
wanna
help
check out
finding
the
that place,
magic-
or
I
do
wanna
you know where to
check out
go?
the magic store real quick. before
Oh,
we-
okay.
one more, yeah.
Artavan, sorry, we're getting so excited
My bad.
about the moles.
You drink a health potion, it
You
heals
matter,
your enemy.
okay.
All right, so as you go into the Arcanorium, the familiar, nice, ornate shop interior surrounds you, and there's a bit more noise, a little bit more noise in here today. As you're going, you see the little Luperian up on her stool behind the counter. And as you open the door, the bell rings. You see her kind of fennec ears pop up a little bit, and she looks over and just like, "Well, hi, welcome back." And behind, in the back of the building, you hear crashing and clanging of certain things. Clashing and clanging, which sounds like almost dishware, but it seems she doesn't even notice it exists.
Sounds like someone's having fun back there.
Oh, that's just my sister. She's just moving things out of the way.
You're
For her
remodeling? Or to get a new shipment?
No, she likes to have a pile of the things that she found.
Makes sense. Well, we just came by to stop real quick. We have a bit of a situation that we're preparing for. I'm wondering if you have anything magical that can help us against a sorcerer of some kind. People that maybe want to read your mind. Like, we're not sure exactly what the potential is, but we just want to know if you've got anything that might be of interest.
Oh, actually, Twixit was able to find every kind of stone that I needed. I was able to complete a full set. And you see she
Wow.
hops off the counter and goes
Did you hear
and,
that, Vivi? A full set.
and puts a little box on the counter.
Artavan
and
has no
opens
idea what
it.
she's talking about.
Is this the little fox person in the store we've
Uh-huh.
been in before?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
This is your
You're-
girlfriend, yeah.
Your true love, yeah.
And you have not met the other sister yet, Twixen.
Twixit.
Quick sit.
Oh,
Twixit.
Twixit.
Bop it.
I wrote that wrong.
Yes.
Click it.
And you see
Die.
a full set of these golden rings, each one inlaid with a different stone. There are 10 in total, and one has a pearl, one has a tourmaline, one has a garnet, one has a sapphire, one has a citrine, one has a jet, one has an amethyst, one is a jade, a topaz, and a spinel.
Well, that's pretty. Very, very, very shiny.
Well, each of these negates a sort of. Each of these can negate a certain effect of magic.
Mm.
So, depending on the kind of thing that your opponent specializes in, just choose the one with the corresponding gemstone, and well, they can't hurt you as bad.
So I look back at like Vivi and Dante and like, do we have any idea what kind of damage it would do?
I'll just give you like the looking at the ground, just like I have no idea what's going on.
What? Don't they deal with the mind of some kind? I don't know a lot
Is
about
there
them.
mind damage?
Oh yes,
Headache
a lot,
damage.
a lot of
Brain
offensive
drain?
magic, a lot of offensive magical spells do attack the mental state and the psyche. In order to ward off against that, that the Jade Stone is attuned to
Oh yes, the shades.
is attuned to protecting the mind.
Okay.
Well, do you have any sort of program where someone can borrow it and then bring it back?
No,
Like just on lease
no.
for rent.
Magical items are far too valuable to be able to do that because, well, let's say if I were to give a magical item to a thief, that's that much harder to then track it down and get it back because now they're equipped with a magical item.
Never give your magical items to dishonest thieves. Never. Only honest ones.
Only honest thieves.
And he has kind of like a little wry smile, and he knows he can't quite hide it from her, but he's just like smiling and like,
My man.
Oh, don't worry, Twixit knows how
Are
to
you
deal with
okay?
thieves
Like, what's
very
going on?
well. And when she says that, you see another small Luperian kind of go out. Her fur is a little more less well kept, much more frizzy, slightly more washed of color. And you see she's got one gnarly scar that goes over her left eye, and then over her snout down to the other thing of the face, and goes and. See, she's got a pair of daggers on both of her sides, as well as another set of large daggers on her back. And she's just like, yeah, stab him real good.
yeah, that's what I would do. Yep.
Little nudge to be. There's two of them.
And Veneri's just like, no, get back. You said we agreed. I deal with the customers. You handle the supply. Now get back in there. Then she nods and trots back inside.
So how much for the brain damage ring?
Well, each one of these rings is gonna run you about 1,500.
Why?
Because
That's
the amount of time and effort it took into making
Okay,
them.
yeah. Okay. I guess probably not. We should probably go.
That's not.
Well, we do offer opportunities for certain trade work as well.
I mean, that's something I can do.
What sort of opportunities?
Well,
What sort of trade work?
We're listening.
making making magical items requires a lot of rare materials. So, I mean, if you guys are going out on a job or something, and depending on where you're going, if you let me know what it is you're intending to go after, or
Oh, that's right. There was a ring you was going to find for me. That's right.
what you're intending to go after, or the region you're going to, I could give you, I could supply you with a list of, with a list of materials or things that we sometimes need, and well, the materials can knock off the majority of the payment for some of these magic items.
So what sort of materials are we talking?
Well, just about anything really. What kind of job are you guys planning to do?
Well, we have to take down someone who's got the ability to attack us mentally.
Okay, is it a spellcaster? Is it a monster? Is it a is it a
We were told it was what
Mind
the
flayer.
species was, right?
Basically,
Mhm.
just say yes to all those
It's-
things.
it's-
Yeah, is it yes?
Yeah, a
all,
little
to
bit
the,
of a little bit of everything.
all the
yeah.
above.
And
Definitely
Vivi
sorcerer.
makes his mage hand do this.
I'm gonna have her do an insight check. I don't know what that means.
That means sorcerer and a little monster. Yeah, that's
Little
the sign for it,
monster.
is it not?
Yeah.
Well,
No, that's my gang sign. I just made it up.
We're the Paragon.
Sign language.
Well, and if you go like this means dirty. So it's close.
little little monster. Psychic uses
monster.
psychic powers. Do you know if this monster is extra planar?
Probably.
Can I do like a history check if I would have any idea?
History
that
or Arcana?
History or okay.
Actually, wait, no. You do. You actually just know that information because they told you.
We talked about it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you recall that? Your character.
So
We did talk about it yesterday.
No.
I, as a
I have
player,
no
don't
idea.
recall what was said, please.
They're from the astral
Yeah,
plane.
you do know that.
That they are
Yeah, the illithids
astral.
are from the astral plane, the far.
In
realm.
game, we talked about it yesterday.
my bad.
No, I'm on the same.
Yeah,
page.
they're from some sort of asshat plane.
Hmm.
Yep.
Well, if this thing does have psychic powers, I could make a deal, give you a discount on this ring, in promise in exchange for the creature's brain.
How much of a discount are we talking?
Yeah.
What's your best offer?
I promise we
Three.
will bring you its brain. And I offer my friend Wayne as collateral.
How does 500 gold sound?
500 and a human slave?
Human slave.
I don't need slavery.
Oh no! I was kidding. It was a joke.
Obviously.
It was a joke. BB's like sweating bullets over. I was kidding.
I'd probably lean over to like Dante. I'm like, this is kind of meant for you mostly. Like, how much are you carrying
Yeah,
on? you?
especially if you're gonna go. And yeah,
I mean, you probably use most everything you had on those potions, right?
Unfortunately, yes.
and what does it do?
I can cover most of it. I just can't cover all of it.
No, yeah, I. Do you guys think it would really work? I mean, yeah,
What's
it's
it-
kind
I
of
have
like
no
team
idea.
huddle here, you know?
What's
like,
it,
yeah,
what's it
like-
even do? What does it even do?
For player reference, it gives you resistance to that specific damage type. So if you got the Jade Ring, you would take half damage from psychic damage.
500 and the promise to bring back its brain. An illithid brain. Not an elder brain,
An illithid brain.
but an illithid brain. All right,
Yeah.
Team Huddle. How much has
Yeah.
everybody got?
I got 200 left.
I have like 330 something.
Well, I've got enough to cover the rest. We can do it. We gotta keep him alive.
Or I can offer that same deal for the ring of protection that I was holding on to you, my Luperian friend, and she gestures to Artavan.
I definitely want that. I'm hoping after this job I'll be able to potentially afford it, but for this job, this is probably going to be more beneficial. Well,
Vivi, if you can, I mean, this is in the team huddle. Like, yeah, Vivi, you can like.
How much
don't know.
How much you putting forward for it? I
Yeah,
need to know what needs to be covered.
I got 200, but if you can give her a
Okay,
little wink, wink, give her a
I'll-
little bit of
I'll put
Vivi.
in.
She's already giving us a hell of a discount. I'm not
It
sure
is
that
one
I'm not
heck
sure
of a
that I'll be able
discount.
to convince her to do more.
I'll put in 250.
What 200 and 250? Then there's only 50 left. Is
Something
that-
like that, yeah.
Let's. I'll tell you what. I'll meet you halfway. Artavan.
I can't
so
do math.
We got 200 from Dante, and then what's left is 300. So we do
300.
150
Ah.
each.
You're smart.
150 each, yeah.
Yeah.
We
let's
buy
do
it for
Guys,
Dante.
I-
We keep him alive. Let's do it.
I appreciate it. Okay.
Let's do it. All right, and we spin. All right, here's what we worked out. We do the little abacus math.
it. What is that?
All right.
And so
Something he stole from me.
the solar opposite of the square root of the hypotenuse
And just plays with
It's
this and he does stuff.
All
and
right.
like math terms and like an abacus and like we're done, right? And then and then we bring you a brain.
Yep, a brain. And let me just go. And you see her pull out a piece of paper, then out of thin air, a quill made of light as she writes on it. If you wouldn't mind just signing here's note stating that you agree, and agree to return the ring. Agree to return the ring should the agreement fall off.
Sign how?
No, you mean no?
She
If there's
hands
no
the
brain?
quill.
You mean if
Yes.
there's no
like,
brain?
if
the
we
brain
can't
comes
get the
back?
brain.
If you can't get the brain, or it comes back not intact.
I think that's a fair deal. I think that might be the best we're gonna get.
I'll sign it.
All right.
Yeah,
And
Ardavan's never signed a thing in his life. He doesn't even know what that means.
as she goes and rolls it up,
Paw
and
print on there.
as she plucks up the jade ring and hands it over to you, and you can also add a ring of resistance to your inventory. Don't forget.
Please.
Don't forget to attune to it.
Fair deal.
Psychic resistance, right?
Yep.
Yep.
So again, what was the name of the ring again? Ring of what?
Resistance.
Psychic resistance.
Ring of resistance.
And 150
Well, it's in
obstacles.
the
Does it separate them out individually?
yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
ring of psychic resistance.
Psychic? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, guys, is that all we needed in that store?
That's all we can afford.
Yeah.
This is my favorite store.
It is a
And as we're walking out,
Pretty cool.
I'm gonna pull Ardavan aside, be like, hey, hey Ardavan, I know that's that money was meant for Jazzy and your her freedom, so don't worry, I'll pay you back for that.
no. It's all good.
All right, just
One
want you to know.
step at a time.
Yeah,
This is
I
a little
appreciate
more
you.
pressing. Of course.
And while those two are on an aside, Vivi like goes to what's her name? The little shopkeeper Pierre.
Veneeri.
Veneeri. Oh, that's right. Okay, I made that joke about it earlier. Thank you. He is just like he goes over to her and like bats his eyes a little bit. Thank you for giving us such a good discount. I really appreciate it. You might have just saved my friend's life. Bat. Flash eyes. Big flash eyes.
Well, that's what most of our magic items tend to do: save lives or end them.
That's a
And
good
then
motto.
and then he's just like stuck there, like not sure what to say. But like, okay, we're gonna go now.
Have a great day.
Yeah. Bye. It's like, and then he's just so embarrassed that he misty steps out.
All right, and with that, you head over to the trolley as you discuss further to go and to the area where you find the contact, which is one of the more not residential areas, but still one of the more business ones, but more back-end businesses where I guess for lack of a better term, where corporate offices and things like that would be, as well as some living space, kind of a middle ground near the center of the city, where you know this contact to be. But with that, we've been going for about 2 hours now, so we are going to go on break. So, we'll be back in 15 minutes. So for player reference, just be back by 7:07, and then yep, I can do math. That is correct. Be back by 7:07, and we will pick up right where we left off. All right, and so we'll see y'all in a bit. And we are back. So, picking up back where we left off, we're going to shift our focus back over to the library.
Everything's on fire! No, just kidding.
I found the chocolate recipes! Wayne, come look! There's more than muffins in here.
I'm like,
I also have cupcakes.
I'm like trying to find like a. I'm like going through all these different.
To set the mood.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, this one will work.
Saxophone
So-
going.
You are in the Grand Library, and as you move about, a little orb of light kind of flutters by, and then stops in front of you, Wayne. And a voice comes from it saying, "Hello, welcome to the White Tower Library. How may I assist
Hello.
you today?"
Do you have
What?
books on mind flayers?
And there's a pause of silence.
Oh.
Our bestiary section is on the 3rd floor.
Now, you guys have so many books here. Is there like a system to narrow down my search? Or do I just ask one of you guys? Are you the only one here who glows like this and knows things? Do you have like a
Another-
system in place?
There are many of us, and we can help you find the correct book for your project.
Small
That's awesome! Oh my goodness!
projects.
Ah!
All right, so it's at the 3rd floor.
Let's go.
So, and then I would turn to the 2 guards. So, are you 2 going to follow us the whole way, or are you just be with us, or are you gonna wait here? I mean, we're walking around the library reading books.
They do not give a verbal answer.
Yes, they're coming with us. Let's go.
All right, we're making our way to the
You-
3rd floor.
Cue the eager searching.
All right, so the blue light leads you to one of those platforms, and as you step on into one of the alcoves, a glowing blue platform materializes underneath you, and it lifts you up like an elevator
Whoa.
up to the 3rd floor.
Like everything that's happening, Wayne just like,
Everything
Wow.
here is so cool.
and just kind of like going over to the edge. Oh, and then like going and like inspecting the banister of the thing, and just like looking at everything, trying to take it all in at once.
Mhm. Everything here is so cool. Oh my goodness.
See why it's so hard to get in?
Yeah.
Everyone would probably want to be here.
Yeah. No wonder why the lines are so long.
Oh, Artavan has to see this. He would love it.
Yes. Disgusted.
Elevator's
Yes.
fine. It's the books.
Okay, so here's my thought. Because we want to kind of narrow down our search. And yes, I do have a lot of important things I want to search, but however, helping Dante is number 1 on our priority list right now. So I
You
would like to
mean on
gather.
our project list.
Haha, yes. The main thing to start off the search would be gathering as much information, just scientific knowledge or facts about said creatures, but I would also love afterwards to also look for any kind of first-hand accounts dealing from the other surges, any kind of information on the other surges, any information on the tadpoles and how they reproduce, and I would just kind of start listing off the breakdown of what I have written.
You'll probably need to hand me a part of the list because I'm not going to remember all of that. But
Right.
I'm totally willing to go and do all of that.
You said you need help writing. You can read though. All right.
I can read
Okay.
okay. Enough to get around.
Is there any part of it? I think splitting up might be useful. Is there any part of the project that you want to start looking at?
I mean, whatever you want is fine.
Okay. If you want to start looking at, start looking for any kind of first-hand accounts dealing with mind flayers during the first or second search. Any kind of books
Got it.
along those lines might be useful. Also, are we allowed to have
Got it.
food in the library? Because I brought some.
The guards do not. Do not respond verbally to anything.
You should ask the orb lady.
I figured if it's a problem, they'll tell me.
Yeah.
I find
she like
best.
takes a bit.
It's easier to focus if I eat while I study.
That makes sense. This is good. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Research. Woo.
All right. Well,
Fun.
I need you guys to make investigation checks. Both of you make one.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna give myself guidance on that. 17.
Hey! Wow. Winners.
It was meant to be.
So with the two, or with the looking through, the orbs have you point out books using, it announces that it is searching for the keyword mind flayer, and picks out and helps you find several books on them. As you're looking through, most of what you find is hearsay and first-hand historical accounts of surviving soldiers saying that they get into your head. Some people that they knew suddenly drop dead, and a minute later, it's like their body was replaced by one of the mind flayers. Sometimes when it gets into their heads, they can't move. As well as if they get in close, they will dig the face tentacles into the skull and rip out the brain whole. However, for specific biology and stuff, you don't find anything, as you were told in the conversation earlier. All that stuff is in the possession of the Veil Keepers, specifically Guthric Hardcastle at his manor. They have, they are the ones that have. He's really the only one that's had a chance
detail
to get the biology and ecology of these things. Most of it is more hearsay.
Since we're not
Things like
finding
that.
anything along the lines of like the scientific facts kind of thing, and it's more hearsay, I also want to look for stories of first-hand accounts of defeating them, killing them. How they, because I'm like, if they survived, I would hope that there's at least one or two stories of that.
Mm-hmm. So looking through that's a good thing to narrow down. Looking through, you get the feeling that certain like magical spells and stuff are actually make one more investigation check.
Can it be a history or arcana instead, or only investigation?
Arcana will work.
Okay, cool. It's just that I'm proficient in that one.
I can help by looking too.
22.
22.
Yeah!
Okay, really good. Going through, just given some descriptions, you learn that there are certain magical things that basically magical effects are harder to have take effect on them. And for mechanical purposes, I would say with the 22, I'll give you the knowledge that Mind Flayers have magic resistance, which means it has advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. However, other than that, you don't seem that needs any special things to take it down. It seems that they can be killed through completely conventional means. There's even one that you said out of desperation, when they finally managed to get one cornered, dude picked up a rock and managed to bash its head until it died.
Kind of graphic.
Oh yes.
I wish it had pictures.
I've done that before. I could tell you what it's like.
So their weakness is rocks? Just kidding, I'm not there.
Noted.
Shoulder BB.
If you throw a rock at a mind flayer, it'll stop moving. Okay. So basically, it has some magical resistances, and it's very deadly, but however, you can just bash its head in. But be careful because it can hold you in place and it will eat your brain.
The other thing I would say with the 22, the other thing says is it seems its psionic abilities have an area of effect, so they found more success in spreading out.
Sorry, say that again. I was writing.
It has an
Spread out.
It has an area of effect, so
Spread out.
Okay.
it has more success in spreading out.
Okay, has magical resistance. And then, I gotta be honest, we found all that information very quickly. While we're here,
We have enough time to look up what all the other things you wanted to.
the next thing on my list. Excuse me, Mr. Light person. Can you
No.
can you see me, or are you only able to listen?
I do not have eyes.
Can you read from books?
I know the contents of every book.
No, it's more from my own book. There's something I'm looking for, but I don't know what it is. Do you have anyone who might know? There's these runes that I'm very curious about, and I don't know where to look for them.
Please be more specific.
Is there a
There-
section
there's
about
runes.
runes?
There's runes on Gramps. He came back covered in runes.
Is
Maybe
there a
people
rune
covered in runes.
section?
They talk in gibberish after being covered in runes.
Does not compute.
Is there a section of runes, like an arcane section
I mean,
dealing with runes?
in a library like this, I mean, you're talking half the books.
That's fair.
It has. Inquiry has been narrowed down to 1.2 thousand volumes.
Ah, that's a
Okay,
start.
okay. How about obscure runes?
Actually, no, there is something else. Is there? I would love to know. Going back to the first project, I would love to know more about along the lines of defending against psychic magics, mind reading, things like that.
Defense against the dark arts.
Defense against brain damage.
I think that's just
Magics.
called a helmet.
Magic section on abjuration, warding, 4th floor.
That's a start. Let's go.
Let's go look.
Yes.
Go over to the elevator.
Yes.
Right.
Glowy platform.
Make an investigation check to find what it is.
Let me use
I don't know, like, what specifically are you looking for? Because if you're looking for things to ward off against psychic magic, just as a spellcaster.
Yeah. No. So
there are
sorry.
spells that do that.
So it would actually still be in the bestiary section. I wasn't clear. No, I'm wanting to know more. How to ward off against creatures that can attack the mind.
It's gonna point you into the same exact direction.
Okay. But yeah, so it's like less of like a spellcaster and more the natural side of it, kind of a thing.
We could ask how many books deal with that matter.
Make an Arcana check.
That is a 25.
You know that there.
No, 24.
You would know that there is not a natural way to do psychic damage. Psychic damage is magical in nature.
Oh,
That's
okay.
bogus.
It's not physical damage against the brain. It's an attack against the mental state.
I mean, I guess
the
we are
ego.
dealing with something from a whole nother plane.
It is.
It doesn't follow the normal laws of nature.
It is.
No.
It's magic. It's psionic. It's not
If it did, that would
physically.
be
Right.
funny.
It's not physical psychic damage. It is psionic, which is a form of magical ability. That
Okay.
what you described.
Which, yeah, Wayne would
does-
already know
yeah,
that.
Yeah, what you described technically doesn't even exist.
Okay.
It would just point you into abjuration magic and certain magic.
And Wayne would
items
already know
can-
that there's magic items that have defense against that.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to know all the fine details. He just knows it exists.
Oh, glowing orb person, oh, that's so cool. If we were to find a recipe, say, of chocolate muffins, would we be able to write that down, or are we not allowed to take any information out of the library?
Note taking is permitted,
Oh,
except for restricted books.
Wayne, we can bring all the recipes.
Wait. What is in the restricted section?
Why would
You do
tell
not
us
have
that?
authorization.
How does one obtain authorization?
Be the headmaster of the academy.
How do you do that?
Challenge accepted.
Boys,
Easy.
let's start
Next.
a campaign.
Yeah. Study.
Easy. Next.
Become his heir.
Dang it. No, I'm lacking in hair. Let's see.
Well, at least we can bring recipes out with us. That is going to be so great because I want all of them. All of them with chocolate.
Okay. Let's see. Before we look at that, there's actually And I would kind of beckon the light orb over again. Are there any books on waterfalls that flow the wrong direction?
Keyword. Inverse waterfalls. Clarification. Do you mean Feywild?
Feywild or astral plane?
I mean, why would she tell me to go to the astral plane? She knows I can't go there.
I mean, if she can, maybe you can. Like I said, just because we don't know the entrance doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Make an Arcana
That's
check.
true. I guess that's
Oh,
true.
it's not a good one. 13.
Ooh.
What you know of the astral plane is it is basically just infinity. It is literally anything that's not part of the astral plane is the astral plane is literally the void is the vacuum of space is what the astral plane is.
Oh, okay. Any reference? Is there any reference to an inverse waterfall in the material plane?
Inquiry not found.
Then yes, the Feywild.
Books on the Feywild. Planar section. 5th floor.
Elevator.
Alright. And while you're looking for that, we're going to cut back to the others. So,
Oh, we're getting one step closer.
so as you're on the trolley, it's pretty quiet.
Whoa.
It's pretty quiet going through.
So help me, Dante. If you get shot right now,
Dante, make it.
Don't curse me like that.
Dante, make an intelligence saving throw.
Oh.
All of us?
No, Dante.
Oh.
okay,
Right.
perfect. We're good.
No. And
Dante, on the thing, you feel a burst of fatigue. And you doze off.
I play the sweetest
And-
violin music for him as he dozes off. Dulcet tones.
Must have been tired.
Dante, you find yourself on the glass sea once again.
Poor little guy, all tuckered out.
Mm-hmm.
oh man. All right, Gavin. What do I see?
You see endless horizon before you. And then as you blink, it goes dark. And you just hear this low thumping. Like a heartbeat, but it feels wrong. And with each thumping, you see a dim light form ahead of you. A pale, lifeless white light slowly flickers into view. And you see what looks like a massive probably the size of a building, a brain with black, oily tendrils hooking onto surfaces all around it, keeping it suspended in place.
Offer yourself.
I don't want to.
You seek us.
I think you got the wrong person. I'm not seeking you at all.
Give in, and you can find Zariel.
Did you say Zariel?
Wait, no, sorry.
Xylith.
Well, kind of killed the moment right there.
That was my bad.
They're like, wait, no.
It's like,
wait,
wait.
What was his name? Her name? Oh,
He's
this is
a-
this guy.
He's just an employee, so we...
No, the other one. Zalic got the promotion, don't you know?
Give in, and our knowledge will become yours, and yours ours.
Why have you chosen me?
To gain the grace of the matron of the skies. She has eluded us thus far, but no longer.
And if I resist?
You merely delay the inevitable.
We shall see.
Make another intelligence saving throw.
Come on, baby.
Uh,
Or
you gonna die.
struggling, guys. I'm
die.
struggling in my sleep.
Ah.
Thought it was sleep apnea.
He's sleeping so peacefully too. It's
Yeah, he wasn't talking in his sleep, was he?
No, he seems to be asleep. Although, Dante, you wake up. And with this loud, horrible burst of tinnitus, it's in your ears, and
Ringing.
you wake
It's just-
up. You take, and you are going to take 21 points of psychic damage, half to 10 because you now have the ring.
That's
But
right.
blood is now going to start coming from your ears.
Ah.
And Gavin, am I awake now, or am I
Oh,
still
yeah.
like?
You-
This is waking up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you awake to this.
Vivi,
I had a
What
good
the-
nap.
what the hell happened?
And you just see blood coming out of both of his ears.
Normally it comes out of the nose. What the heck?
Oh, Jeremy, I
Are
can hear
you
you.
okay?
I hand him a cloth, a rag.
Yeah.
Guys, was that just me? Did you guys see that? Like, what's going on here? Like,
You were sleeping like a baby, and then your head started bleeding out your earballs.
Well, I got to be honest. I just was feeling a little bit tired, and then I went to this place like I was telling you before, but my ears are bleeding. What the hell is going on here? Jeez.
What did you
It's-
just were you talking to yourself? I thought I heard you mumbling.
Guys, you know me. I don't want to make myself seem crazy or anything, but it was that mind flare. It was trying to communicate with me, saying if I resisted, it would do no good. That it was inevitable. That oh my gosh, I'm just in a daze right now. I'm sorry.
Do you think the Mind Flayer can hear us now?
I don't believe so. I honestly, all I remember is I was, looking into like a sea of emptiness, and then all of a sudden it turned black, and I saw this ginormous brain, and I could just hear as if like we're talking, this mind flayer talking to me. But oh my gosh, it's becoming more real. I think it's becoming stronger.
I feel like Artavan's gonna go over and like go to your ear. Mind Flayer, if you can hear me, leave Dante alone. If you don't, I will find you, and I will kill you.
Make an intimidation check.
Oh wow, that's actually do something. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Taken. Thank
Oh
you,
my
Liam.
god, I think Vivi is going to double over in laughter at this.
Like he doesn't know what to do. It's like I want to
Yeah.
hit your head, but it doesn't help.
Leave me alone.
I suggest a dagger.
Yeah, the dagger works really well.
Yeah.
I got a 12.
All right.
And
Yeah, you
Vivi
don't
goes
notice
around
anything.
back around to Dante's rear side and looks and goes, Mind Flayer, if you're in there, stay in there.
Devin, are the people around us just looking at us all weird? And
Yeah,
just-
they're like,
That
They
Luperian
must have
whispering
had-
sweet things in his ears.
Is that
While holding
Fox
a hammer?
talking to someone in that guy's ass?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening.
You guys hear that ringing, or is that
Everything.
just me? Do you guys hear that? Man.
I don't think so.
so
Ugh.
I think you need to eat more fiber.
I can try.
Yeah.
But guys, honestly, I think we probably need to get a move on with this mission.
Yeah,
I
definitely. That's not
honestly,
good.
What? What were they after? What they want?
maybe I've tried to figure that out myself. It seems like it's me. Every single time I ask it, they just keep
And why?
referencing.
And why you?
I honestly still don't really know. It seems to have something with the Sky Dancers. I don't know if they're confusing me with somebody else, but
Okay, out of character then question. Have you not talked about the Sky Dancers yet?
yeah. You go ahead.
Talk
Gavin.
to me about it.
yeah, I think he's only really talked to Wayne about it. You did see in the first episode, which is now lost, him go off with the tiefling woman for a
Right.
sparring match.
And she flew in and flew away.
Vivi wasn't close enough to hear any of that in that lost episode, so
You just saw him get kind of beat up.
then
Yeah, because I think you saw that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, you
I don't know that I would know what to ask from here.
Just keep resisting. Whatever they try and tell you to do, keep resisting.
I will say I have made, just like in my random note taking to the group the past several episodes, I have mentioned in passing the Sky Dancers several times.
Right. I think the
Okay.
word is definitely familiar, but we just don't quite know exactly what it all means. The true significance
So-
behind it.
So
Yeah,
then
it's
are
familiar.
they using you to get to them? Are you an ends to the means, or are you the end? And what does it all mean?
Maybe I wish I knew. honestly.
You are a Skydancer.
Correct.
Are you still in good terms with the Skydancers?
Yes, honestly, Arvan, and I'm still learning myself. I'm still a student. I'm not some type of proficient master or professor of the Skydancer class or group, but so I honestly am still trying to figure out why me.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
I feel like Wayne would know what to do. I need someone with a lot of smarts.
Well, we can definitely discuss when we bump into them tonight.
Just keep resisting.
Okay.
And currently, Princess is actually sitting behind you, just like slowly swabbing the blood that trickled down and just cleaning you gently.
I'm gonna give him a little, little pet.
All right, and with that, Vivi, the kind of in the central part of the city where all the individual districts kind of overlap a little bit, the trolley comes to a stop, and the trolley comes to a stop, and while you yourself have not been to the place before, you do know, just mentioned from some of your cousins, the name of the place and vaguely where it is.
And what's it called?
It's called the Leaky Tankard.
And so this is a pub where are we saying like it is known that there is some sort of a guild there, or is secret knowledge?
You know that there are associates of your cousins there that dabble in stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
The traveling cart of the traveling circus that you're a part of has done business with them.
Perfect. I go in and start looking for my contacts. And I invite once we get there,
Yeah.
Don't worry, guys. Have I been here before? Would I have ever been here before?
You yourself have not, but you're you're kind of you yourself have not, because you were kind of little when deal with them, but you do recall having done jobs and their payouts were pretty generous with them to pickpocket very specific people.
All right, I've got some contacts here, and hopefully lead us in the right direction. Maybe we can learn thing or two about what we're facing. Maybe, not sure.
Hey, baby, I'll just follow you. You lead the way.
Come on in. Come right on in. And so I lead them in and start looking for my contacts.
So as you're making your way through,
Making my way.
as you go through, you're kind of going off. You go down. You're following Vivi. Go down the alley. Vivi turns around, goes the other way. It's like, oh, is it this way? Is it this way? And then you start picking up unrecognizable landmarks, and then kind of hidden in the back alleys of a few warehouses, almost in an alleyway itself, you see just a small sign sticking out called the Leaky Tankard, hanging down with a staircase heading down and a door leading in.
I think that's it. I think that's the place. So we head towards it.
Kind of tight.
Come on, just wait 1 sec. Get down.
Wild dog appears.
Just the void attacks you.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, that's a dog. That's
I
not
was
just a
I was
background.
petting him, and then I stopped, and all of a sudden he attacked me.
When the void fights back.
So
The other one is by the other leg.
So as you enter, it's pretty quiet in there. You look and you see only a total of 4 people. There is a human man behind the bar. He's just cleaning off a mug. And then 2 guys clad in dark leather with scimitars at their hips, kind of like off on the sides. And then at the bar, you see a large, probably you see a large woman with pale white skin and black hair that is braided in back. And when I say large, she's probably got a good 5-6 inches on Cosmo, and the muscle and the muscle mass to match with these. And you see her, and she is deep in her cups with it. There's like 4 empty mugs by her.
This is just a patron?
You...
Does she appear to be a patron, I think is the question I meant to ask.
So to speak, the 3 of them do. All 3 of them are drinking, and there's the bartender. However, the other 2 definitely are more just like sipping on tankards. She seems to be going to town, knocking them back.
Okay, and none of them are my contacts. Which, by the way, I'm not sure exactly what it is, who I'm looking for.
Would
that
main,
be just... sorry, go ahead.
The main name that you know is it is the bartender. That you do know it's the bartender, and you know his name is Sid.
Okay. Then I pull up a stool at the bar. And
Does it have a booster seat?
Hello. Are you Sid, by chance?
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, I'm Vivi. I'm with the Lupierine company. I come through here from time to time, although I've never been here myself. I was wondering if perhaps you had some jobs that you needed done, and for gainful employment, anything of that nature.
Said you're with that traveling band of gunbanders, little foxes.
Yeah, that's me people. Yeah, you know us. I don't know that I've ever been through Store's Hill before.
Is this what we say Dark Roots Wither?
Yeah.
And he kind of goes in. This is like, well, he seemed to be a bit out of the loop then.
I'm sorry?
And he puts the mug aside. Well, last job you folks didn't exactly go well, and well, they bailed before reparations could be made.
What?
Here I was thinking we were going to have to hire a loan shark, but nope, you just came right in.
Yeah, just came right in. Yeah. What are you saying?
I'm saying, on behalf of your kin, you owe us. Got a tab that needs paying there, lad.
Oh, that group of Lupierines. No, never heard of them, That's no. I meant the other ones. I meant the other ones. I meant the ones that are not that one. Perception dissuasion check.
Deception with disadvantage. With disadvantage.
Oh, damn.
no.
He's just like,
One of them was a crit, but so 9.
He
Oh.
goes and he's like, well, no need to fret. Boss is more than generous to those who owe him. Don't worry, there'll be work for you.
Okay.
And once the debt's paid, clean slate, all that. But
Yeah.
don't worry.
Then. Okay, I won't. I'll pretend like I never even came in here.
Oh no, you're gonna see the boss.
Oh.
Just out of curiosity, how big of a debt are we talking here?
I'll have to look up the tab. I believe it was somewhere in the realms of, let's see, 8,000 gold.
I'll just probably look at Vivi, stare him down like, what the
Oh.
hell are we doing here?
What for?
You stole 8,000 gold from these people?
No, I've never even been here.
And you see the Goliath woman. She kind of like goes up, cracks her shoulders a little bit, just like, well, it's true. Your kin could not finish the job, and well, there was a lot of investment, wasn't there? She
And you're
downs
just-
another.
You're just assuming this one's a part of that group, or are you just being racist? He's like, all of the Fox folk are now owing you 8,000 gold.
Do you know how exceedingly rare the Fox variant of the Luperian are?
Oh yeah, we're really rare. There's really only 2 of our groups in existence.
Well, that grey fur is a dead giveaway.
Oh,
Because
alright.
there's only one family tree that.
That's a good point.
There's only one family tree that has it.
So it's racism then.
Whether it be through racism or incompetence, there is a debt to be paid. And if you refuse to pay it, I will break your bones.
But I like me bones.
Come. The boss should be waiting. And she stands up. And as she stands up, you get her full 7'2" height as the half giant goes and cracks her shoulders again.
Well, this is not exactly what I thought I was signing up for. But at least I've got a job. That's exciting, right?
I think Artavan's going to stand up and kind of match her height, her just what she does, and kind of flex himself too, and just showing that he's very much not afraid to get physical, and she can't just bully him around. He's not alone.
Make an
That kind of thing.
Make an intimidation check.
And
Need
while
better
he's doing
charisma.
that check,
You can use strength, just given how you're doing it.
since there's a bar between them, Princess hops up on the bar and starts to flex as well.
Okay, so if I go and change what I rolled, where is... That's not... Okay. 17.
She kind of goes and kind of looks at you, and then just kind of gives a nod of respect.
Lead the way.
Lead the way.
And she kind of goes, and as they walk to the right of the bar, and you see one of the guys gets up and throws down a pull bar in front of the entrance of the bar, and she pulls on one of the torch sconces, and the wall opens up with a staircase leading down.
Fancy.
Super fancy.
As
Yes.
we
Mole
pass,
people.
as we pass by them, Princess picks her pocket.
Sleight of hand.
Total of 11.
Nice.
She just shoos Princess off before he can get into her pockets.
He flexes at her and then runs away.
So as you head down, you are then greeted by architecture that is much nicer and well put together than the bar above. And as you go down, you're greeted with this large open room, and looking around, there's probably there's a lot of activity. Probably near 100 people sitting around drinking, and there is one giant bar in the middle, and then above the bar you see a bunch of alcoves and stuff with doors going back into rooms and crisscrossing stairs going up on either side. And
It's almost like a hidden inner lounge,
oh yeah,
speakeasy kind of thing.
oh yeah.
Well, we really are in the most opposite of places with our two groups right now.
Yeah.
Can't get more opposite.
Party life and academia. As we're walking over there, I'm probably gonna pull Vivi aside. Like, Vivi, how close are to you to your group of friends? Like, are these people we need to stand up for, or
It's my family.
okay?
It's my mom and my dad and my siblings and my brothers and my sister and my little sister Jimmy and my little sister Tommy and my little brother Joey and my big sister Emma and my little brother Joseph. And he just keeps going on and keeps naming.
Yeah.
I need a minute to process that. Like,
So
that's a lot of names.
So
It's not something I can walk away from. Because
No,
if it's not me, it's them.
everything is about family.
So as going, the Goliath woman kind of leads you towards the bar, and then past the bar to the right, and there you see there's this a tiefling man, kind of charcoal skin, and he's got horns that kind of curl around like this, and he has very short, well-kept hair that is slicked back, and he seems to be reading over some documents and enjoying a glass of wine. And as you approach, the Goliath woman goes and gestures towards a handful of seats on the other side of the table from him.
Okay.
Good thing they didn't. Good thing they didn't say take a seat.
Pick it up and leave. I'm gonna stay standing behind Vivi.
I sit down.
I'll stand next to Vivi.
And to what do I owe the pleasure this fine day?
Well, I came to your establishment looking for work, for help, for advice on certain underworld creatures. And he goes like this. No reaction. Okay.
He-
And
yeah, he's just like staring at you.
Dark Roots with her. No, nothing.
And she'll leave the table.
So, I'm sorry. What?
The
And he
glass lid.
sets the glass down.
And she'll leave the table.
And
That's what he said.
And
Okay.
the Goliath woman nods and walks away. Leans forward. Did you just say what I think you said?
I was looking for a job. Yeah. That's right.
After that.
That's what I was-
After that.
I spoke to your nice bartender lady, and she wouldn't offer me a free drink, even after I was like, I wanted to get employment here. And then all of a sudden, is that it? Oh, Dark Roots River. No, it's just it's just like it's
Keep it on the down low.
Dark Roots River. It's just like a little tongue twister. Like, can you say it like 3 times fast? Dark Roots River, Dark Roots River. See, I can't do it.
Go through the. Actually, it's hard.
Is Cromwell just handed out the password like candy up there? God
No.
damn that man.
No, we earned that. We earned that.
You stole him off a corpse.
You're not here.
Oh yeah.
We slayed a vampire.
This Wayne says we stole it off a corpse.
This is the DM speaking. I was genuinely not prepared for you guys to say the phrase in front of him for a long time.
Yeah. Artaban walked in saying it.
Yeah.
Skip the side quest. He's just like,
Skip cutscene.
all right. So you veil keeper then?
A veil. And I look.
I'm getting nudge him. Yeah.
I look at the two of you. What? Who?
Currently, yeah.
I'm sorry. What? What's that? What's a
what's
what's a veil keeper?
You're too green. All right. What do I even do with you? Okay. All right.
Give me a job.
What kind of job you looking for?
Larceny thievery, burglary, generally anything that doesn't involve hurting people, but removing merchandise, placing it in other places, in other pockets, moving things around, switching, swapping. And then he takes out, here, I'll show you. He takes out his cup game and shows the guy his skills that he has been practicing, making the cup game, and then playing some music and just showing him skills, employable skills. Oh, and Princess picks his pocket.
Make a performance check.
Sure, I'm gonna do one at disadvantage here. That'll be a 13 for the performance and a princess pocket picking sleight of hand at 12.
And as he's going, just like, boy, that was mediocre at best. And get your pet under control before I skin it.
Yeah, of course. I was just trying to show you the skills. Just to show you the skill set.
Skill set I need is the kind that makes things go dead.
And he like looks over at Artavan and Dante. We don't know anyone like that.
Do any of those jobs, do they pay an amount that could clear his family's name, though? That's what we're after.
Yes, I suppose there was that. I wasn't going to bring it up, but he probably knows.
Cromwell and I have an agreement. You have come across the passphrase. So I'm willing to make you, and you specifically, exempt from your family's debt.
Well, that's all good and well, but what will happen to my family?
Well, we'll track them down. Get them to pay up, and end. If they don't pay up, then there's quite a few jobs we'll be making them run without the pay until labor costs are met.
I'll do your jobs for you. You just leave them out of it.
Make a persuasion check.
Mm-hmm.
Aw.
I'm going to inspire myself, please, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
17.
17. Well, I'll definitely be thinking about it. However, I don't like to give the wrong impression. So, the two gentlemen that accompanied you, welcome to the cistern. How can I help you?
Well, okay. I mean, we are here with all the dark fruits with her, and we are looking.
already.
Yeah, I know. I had to say it quietly because he said to say it quietly.
Dark fruits with her already. And then he said, say it quietly. And I
I'll just be
Yeah.
shaking my head in embarrassment.
I'm doing it.
And
Quietly.
the tiefling is kind of shaking his head too. It's just
Do
like,
you
man,
do you
we gotta work on this.
understand? Do you know anything about the situation that we're going through with the Veil Keepers?
It's it's been a while since we've had contact, but I've been holding up my end of the bargain.
Right.
See,
Do you have any idea what a mind flayer is?
Oh, you're talking about Xylith.
No, mind flayer.
Yes, I know what a mind player is.
Right. So we're looking for one, and we're trying to figure out like how to fight one, how to stop them, that kind of thing. Because it's someone's life is in danger, and it's getting pretty messy.
Well, in my experience, it's hit them fast and hard, back them into a corner that they can't get out of, and keep hitting it till it stops moving.
I'm good at that.
Is he the one who used the rock?
I need a rock.
They're allergic to rocks.
Let me see. $17. Okay, I think he'd catch on. Well, you mentioned what was it? A name? Xylus, was it?
Xylith.
Xylith?
Mind flayer that's apparently been a pain in Cromwell's ass.
Oh,
Well, Cromwell handles the police force and does his best here. My job is to watch the underground, as there's more than one type of authority that these things tend to target. And I don't like the triad moving in on my territory.
That's what I
Have-
was going to ask.
Had an operation in that mine in town, and they uprooted it.
Yeah, so the Triad has a personal interest with us at this point. We have taken out 2 of their heads. And so they're very upset with us right now. But we are looking for any kind of aid, information, things, whatever we can get in an upper hand, because likely very soon we're going to be on the offensive.
Well, before I play my hand, what can you offer me?
There's this guy named Wayne. No.
Honorable mentions.
I kind of look at the 2 of you before like saying anything. If you 2 wanted to pitch in with that, but
Is there anything in particular that you need at this time? I mean, I could assume, you have enough money to buy any type of hired guard. Is there anyone or anything particular you need?
I think you may have misinterpreted the situation going on down here. See all these folks around here? They earn their keep. They do what I say, not because they're on my payroll, but because they respect me. And they also respect what the others might do to them if they break my trust.
I like this guy.
I can respect that.
That being said, everybody around here does need their... they have a choice when I offer them a job. However, nobody wants to take my current proposal. I
We're
need
listening.
last head of the triad, and Xylith dead.
Huh.
Being that lines in with my job as a bellkeeper, that lines up. But main thing is, seems that Xylith has taken one of my most trusted associates. And if I don't get him back soon, I don't think I could keep Ansha on her reins anymore. I doubt any one of us down here could survive that. So, here's my offer. I'm willing to give you a rather powerful staff I happen to have come across in my line of work.
Deal. We'll take it.
Wow.
Oh, sorry.
He wasn't done. Let him finish.
Let him
the
cook.
man finish.
Sorry, I got excited.
Your tail's wagging.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Hitting BB in the face every time. You're like, oh.
I just want him to throw it.
Go
Or
on.
the staff. He'd be so ashamed, but he
And
would
in
fetch.
return, 3 parts to the job. Kill the last head of the triad, kill Xylith, and get my man back. Skill set is very useful to me. One hell of a bodyguard, but not so much when he's got one of those things crawling around inside the base of his skull.
Nudge, 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 nudge.
Together.
You're not
He
alone.
knows.
Hooray,
Brotherhood.
more victims.
Yeah. Dang it.
Out of game, I just gotta say, I love when the side quests line up perfectly with the main quest. And you complete it,
Yes.
you complete all of them at the same time. Just see all those
So
check marks.
All those
satisfying.
question
Mm.
marks.
Mhm.
Yeah, all those question marks.
Yeah.
Turn into exclamation points.
Also,
Other way around.
So
I
it
need
was
you to go. I need you to
Yeah.
go. I need you to
Yeah.
go to the forest south of here and collect 4 boar hides.
Oh.
Quest. Dang it.
What?
What's the guy's name? His friend, his man, his employee, his
man.
goon, his goomba.
Well, his name is Arlo. Still
And
a
like we
kid,
talked
but
about, you're a man of integrity, and I hope you know, if we agree with this deal, I just want you to know going in that, hey, our intention is to kill Xylith, but as seeing that we've never met him or fought him before, I just don't know of a chance of him escaping. We don't really know. I just don't want to make a promise that we can't keep.
mind flayers have a way of escaping situations. They can, well, for lack of a better term, they know how to hop planes at a moment's notice to escape dire situations.
Does this staff of yours have a trapping feature or a way of making so it can't escape?
No. But Arlo certainly does.
I'm sorry, the staff was mentioned in what context?
As a
in-
reward.
As a reward.
That's how he'll aid us.
So only
This-
after we get all these things done.
This ability can be stopped with a simple counter spell. And, well, Arlo is more than proficient with that.
Now, we've talked to Cromwell a little bit about these mind flayers and how these mind flayers kind of take control of people. Does Arlo, is it he or she? Is it she?
He.
He is. Does he still have control of himself, or is he now under their control?
Haven't seen him in a couple of weeks, so. That's anybody's guess, really.
And how would this staff be of assistance? What does this staff do?
Going into my Dungeon Master notes because
pulled
I
up.
forgot. Yeah, you see him pull out. You see him pull out a book
got so many
labeled
staffs.
"Player's Handbook," and
starts
Wayne
flipping
is
through
proud.
the table.
Yeah.
Probably look at the two of you as well and like do like a little quiet like. I mean, this seems like a win-win for us. We're already planning on doing it.
Dark roots are withering.
All the withering of the roots. We just got to make sure we find someone to take back.
Were you taking on too much of a challenge here, you think, Cardavon? Or do you think this is something we can agree to? Like, I just...
Agreeing to it doesn't doesn't make the challenge any more challenging. It only makes the reward better. That's
A
all.
little more sweet. I do think that. I mean, this is kind of our intention anyway. Whether or not he helps us, we want to go and take them out.
Yeah, and Vivi, the only reason why I brought that up, Vivi, is just because I just want to make sure that we stay on his good side. So if your family ever in danger, they could, have us be, someone they can rely on and help them.
I think that in order to help the family out, I'm going to have to come back here and perhaps do some less savory jobs from time to time. But it's worth it to keep them all safe.
Okay.
I think if we do take this deal, it is he seemed kind of willing to think about forgiving your family. So if we perform well, I think he's much more inclined to forgive.
I think so
Paragon,
too.
good point. Good point.
The thing I'm wondering is if he can hear us sitting right across the table.
Oh,
from
he's
us.
He's
definitely
I
listening.
assume-
Been whispering.
Yeah, whenever you say that, I assume you do it in a way to do it. Don't worry.
I just assumed we were
I'm not-
talking openly right in front of him.
I'm not that.
I've been
kind of
whispering.
DM.
I wasn't sure.
But as he's going, I remember it. It is. He's like. It's a staff that I acquired from a fella over in the Underdark beneath Duskenweald. So the drow fella has all the spider aesthetic to it. And for player reference, it is a spider staff. And so this is the description. It is the top of this black adamantine staff is shaped like a spider. The staff weighs 6 pounds. You must attune to the staff to gain the benefits and cast its spells. The staff can be wielded as a quarterstaff. It deals 1d6 extra poison damage on a hit when used to make a weapon attack. The staff has 10 charges, which are used to fuel the spells within it. With the staff in hand, you can use your action to cast one of the following spells from the staff if the spell is on your class's spell list. Spider Climb 1 charge or Web 2 charges. Spell save DC 15. No components are required. The staff regains 1d6 plus 4 extended charges each day at dusk. If you expend the staff's last charge, roll a d20. On a 1, the staff crumbles to dust and is destroyed.
Wait, so it's only got Spider Climb on it, and you can only cast
And
that
web.
And
and
web.
web, and you can only cast that if it's part of your class's spell list.
Yes, however, as the DM, I remember I made a note. As a DM, I'm getting rid of that one specific line because I personally think that's kind of dumb. Because it's like it's like having a wand of web. Anybody should be able to use a wand of web because it's stored in the wand. It's the staff doing the magic, not you. So ignore the on your class's spell list because I don't like that rule.
So
That
web
cool
and spider
item should
climb.
Web
not
and
be
spider
only left
climb.
for the nerds.
And then extra poison damage on physical.
Extra
hits.
poison damage on physical hits,
On
which
physical
means
hits.
it's good for the marshals as well.
Well, I guess Wayne could use that.
Just
And we
imagine
all-
all the books I could reach.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Roll a
That'd be,
nat one after one use.
I think that
I
would
think
be
we're
very
all
good
in
for
the-
Wayne.
I think we're all in agreement. Like, once we all consecutively nod, like, are we doing this?
Yeah.
Well,
Wait,
yeah.
did he say that we? Oh, sorry, I'm not there.
Yep. And he goes on, just like, and I assume, given the fact that you know this password and you know his name, that you've been working with Cromwell on this thing.
Indeed.
And we recently saved his life.
We have patches.
Mhm.
Saved his life too.
Well, Cromwell and I have a bit of an agreement. He oversees the day, I watch the night. Metaphorically, of course. With in terms of the dangers of the surge, and as a result, I supply him with information of those not under my employ, and he allows my operations to continue. However, I do have a bit of a proposition for you. you could run this op with Cromwell and a considerable sized police force, but well, let's just say while they do have those strength in numbers, they the experience might be running like lambs to the slaughter. Or you could take Insha.
That would be the very, very beautiful bartender you had out there, yeah?
No, she's not the bartender.
Uh,
Barkeeper?
the manager?
She was up there chugging the ale.
Oh, okay. Is she the Goliath, or was
She's
the Goliath the one? Who was the one who let us in here? I forget.
She led you down, but Sid was the bartender.
Oh, it was Sid. That's right. Okay, thank you. And we take you're proposing we take her to the Mind Flayer? Is that correct?
If Insha's anything, she's a killing machine. If you need to kill anything that moves, she's probably good to have along. Or you could do it the boring way and go with Cromwell. Either way, I get what I want.
Any way that we could do both?
Any reason not to?
Because, I mean, I know you care about this Arlo, and I just want to ensure that we can get him back. I mean, we could really use the extra help.
Make a persuasion check.
Nine.
Nice.
Well, Cromwell and I work together, and we have an agreement. That agreement is rocky at best. He's got a sense of justice that he's had to compromise for the greater good. And me, well, if those crazy cultists and those things coming out of the Blighted Lands get their way, I die along with everything else around me. So, we work on mutual benefits, but I guess it's safe to say we're not exactly fans of each other.
All right. I think for the core part of the deal, the 3 tasks that you would like us to complete, I believe this is, we can all agree, acceptable. That we would like to accept this portion. As far as who we are going in with, perhaps we'll need to talk with our 2 other colleagues and make a decision from there. But we will be doing it soon, so you can expect to hear back from us soon, once we have our final answer. Does that work for you?
Yes. Oh, and one final thing
You
that
doing
might
okay?
sweeten the pot.
Okay.
Just sweeten the pot. The reason why I ask is well, if it's managed to collect the final head of the triad without police assistance, there is a bit of a bounty in the private sector that won't get fulfilled. Should the police get their hands on him first.
So bring the proof to you.
That's right, and don't worry, I have ways of letting Cromwell know that the job is done. He won't be happy about it, but he'll have to live with that.
I think we can accommodate you.
So for player reference, this is my video game. Choose your faction.
Yeah. Who do you
Kind
go
of
to
a
fight
thing.
with?
Brotherhood of Steel, or
Yeah. This is your
Yeah.
Fallout Brotherhood of
Yeah.
Steel or the Railroad.
yeah.
All right. Well, we should be back with our word, our decision, shortly.
And sorry,
Probably
my
by tomorrow.
manners. What's your name again?
Grimshaw. It's a pleasure.
Rimshaw.
Graham Shaw.
Rimshaw.
What
Grim
race is he?
or grim?
He's a
Tiefling.
Grim,
Grim.
and he's a
Grim.
tiefling. And as you're walking, he's like, and well, if you decide to take my services, I'd be more than happy to provide the location as well.
That's pretty compelling. All right.
Dang.
All right.
And I don't have to ingest a what?
A rock.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Air tag
You do that
with my
anyway.
digestive system. Jeez.
Ugh.
Dante, if you're afraid of eating it, there are other ways to get it up inside you. We can cut you open. That's what I was talking about. We can cut you
Talking
out.
about
Yeah,
your ear.
Surgery, yeah, surgery.
Oh yeah. Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Where's my mind?
I think that we're probably good to, unless he wants us to stay for anything else specifically, we're probably good to head out.
Yeah, and they let you leave.
You'll be seeing more of me whether or not you hear from us again.
I look forward to it.
I think this is the start of a special relationship. He says that with just a little bit of regret.
And as you start heading out, you make your way to as you make your way to the surface at the library. At the library, the reading through as you're going and reading through, you notice that one of the security officers has left your side for a little bit, but eventually as he returns with a woman, half elven, middle-aged, pale skin, and kind of this auburn hair. And she looks a little bit distraught as she kind of goes and looks at Cosmo, just like a little bit of like taken aback shock.
Really quick, is there supposed to be background music playing right now or no?
Nope.
Okay.
And so she kind of goes and lets out a little gasp, and she goes and like puts on her spectacles. It's just like, oh, so sorry. I was told you wish to speak to me. I am Ingrid Cello.
Yes. Hello. Yeah. Wait, get over here.
I'm reading about this upside down waterfall here.
It's Ingrid. She came.
The professor?
Yes.
Uh,
Quick.
Miss, what was your name?
Oh, Cosmo.
Cosmo. And I have to ask, what's the name of the other one that's with you?
Wayne.
No, I'm talking about the other thing in your head.
And that's where we're gonna end it.
Oh!
What the hell?
No.
Is it a
What?
mind flayer?
Multiplied.
What the hell?
More victims.
Oh no.
Still Wayne.
Nikandra in the chat just put a bunch of question marks.
Ooh.
Well, okay.
You have a friend, a little head friend. That's exciting.
Somebody was reading my mind.
Cool. My turn. My turn next.
Yeah, I have a little imaginary friend. Likes to talk.
His name is.
How do you spell that, sir?
It's all a P's.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for watching. And we'll be back in 2 weeks from today for the next episode. Pick up exactly where we left off. And we'll see where all these plot threads will take us, and continue on the quest to track down the Mind Flayer Xylith, where he's hiding. But thanks once again to our sponsor, We Geek Together, for sponsoring the stream, and
Woo.
we will see you all next time. And with that, farewell, bye-bye!
Bye.